What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Adrian here from Adrian Mateo Drones. How's everybody doing? As you guys can see, I'm actually using Restream for this live stream. Fortunately, StreamYard was actually crapping up on me. Hope everybody's having a great, and happy New Year 2022. I actually made a little promise to myself that I'm going to be doing a lot more flying this year in 2022 than what I did for the past few years. I actually have all my batteries charged for just about every drone, except I actually took my DJI FPV drone today. First battery, crapped that right on the ground, messed up two props. One of my little LED light covers on the drone came out. I can't find the damn thing. I picked it up. Everything's working good. I actually had it on full FPV, but I put it back on sports mode. I said, the hell with it. I'm not ready for FPV if I'm going to mess up this goddamn drone. So forget FPV. I'm going to keep flying it in normal mode and sports mode until I'm really comfortable. The hell with that. When it hit the ground, I said, oh shit. That was the only thing I said. Picked it up, cleaned it up. Excuse me. Got the air compressor, blew that thing out, inspected. Again, two props messed up. The LED cover came out, put it back on sports mode, rearranged screws, things flying perfectly. No, hell no. I'm going to be good with this way for a little while. Anyway, I see that I have quite a few people already here in the chat. I'm going to recognize you guys. Just give me 1 minute. Let me go ahead and bring one of my guests that I have in the background and green screen is Mr. Sean from Sean Ide. I think I said that right. Sean Ide Studios. He does that great stream. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please go ahead and do so. Sean SHAWNIDE Studios. Let me bring him on in. Because unfortunately, my damn co-host crapped out on me, say he's not going to be on, so show must go on. And with that being said, let me go ahead and bring him on in. How you doing, Sean?
Good, Adrian. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Happy New Year, buddy.
Yeah, you too, man.
2022. I'm hoping that I can see more videos from you flying the damn Altel Evo after that video that you put up on the baseball park, I think it was. I mean, that was a great freaking video. So I hope to see more videos of you in the future.
Yeah, I got my Christmas presents on the way. It's the DJI FPV drone. So
you got one of those in the way too?
It's on the way. Yep.
Well,
so it's getting here Tuesday.
I'm not gonna spoil the beans. All I can tell you is that thing is a beast. Even on normal mode, sports mode, that thing is fast as shit. It really is fast.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you're just gonna have to take your time to learn it. If you're already an FPV, person, you're not gonna have any problem. Me, I'm more of a GPS camera guy. The FPV one, I guess sometimes I can actually get it and fly just fine. But for some reason today, the way I had the sticks adjusted, the remote kept telling me I need to adjust the F1 screw and the F2, but I didn't have it perfect. So I thought I did. But when I hit the throttle, it came up, and then the other stick is to kind of, keep it level, because with FPV, you have to keep it, level. It's not like GPS where you pull up and then you let go the stick and it stays there. No, hell no, you got to keep going. So when I lift off, I was still in the mode where, camera drone, you know what I mean? It hit the ground hard, but again, nothing broke except two props. The LED light thing came off. Hopefully I could find the damn thing in the morning so I could just put it right back. Other than that, I set it right back up to how it was normal. I'm going to leave it just like that until I get comfortable with it again. It scared the shit out of me.
So you let go of the sticks and it kept going in the same direction?
I mean, yeah, because, again, that with the GPS, drone, when you
Yeah.
take off, you can let it go and then you're gonna hover right there in
Yep.
place. For some reason, I again I have to keep train myself to be like, hey, I'm in manual mode. You know what I mean? This is
Mhm.
what I'm gonna do. But when I picked up. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, that's kind of fast. And then I was gonna look back because I thought I see my daughter coming to me. And next thing you know, I hit the other stick and it just went. All I heard, woo, like it was just mowing the freaking dirt. Till I hit
Yeah.
the little stop button twice to kill the motor. So yeah,
So
that's
I've
the
got a
whole
question.
story in that one.
I've got a question for you. Um,
Yes.
so I've since it's taken like a week for me to get my drone, I've watched everybody's videos on like, starting it up, or like everybody as soon as they open up the box, they play around with the screws so that they unlock the throttle, like
Yeah.
the left stick. Do you have to do that? Like if I don't ever plan on going into manual mode, I just want to fly FPV and I want to do normal and sport mode. Do I have to unscrew that?
To answer your question, no, you don't. You
Okay.
can actually fly your FPV drone FPV style with your goggles. It's still gonna give you that FPV look no matter what, even if it's a normal sports mode or manual. It's
Yeah.
just that on manual you actually unlock the full acro, like the stakes completely change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now you got throttle and now the other. Like again, I literally went ahead and did a little flip because I forgot. You know what I mean? I changed everything that quick because I didn't train myself, for it like I
Yeah.
normally have done before. So no, you don't. You could fly in normal or you could fly in GPS. Still gonna be FPV. You're just not gonna have the loop. You're not gonna be
Mhm.
doing the loop and the swoop and all the good stuff. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if even if you pop it on sports mode, once you let go of the stick, it's just gonna stop and hover.
That's what I
You know what
want.
I mean?
Yeah.
But once you have that thing in full acro where you adjust the stick, you know what I mean, for the tension, the spring, and that good stuff, that's when the whole game just changed right there.
Yeah. And I saw where you have to tell it to turn on manual mode, right? Like I
You
can't.
have to be the one to do that in your settings on the goggle.
Okay.
Yes,
So out of
you
the
have to
box, I
have.
can't accidentally put it into manual mode. And
No, even
okay.
if right out of the box is straight GPS, right out of the box.
Okay.
So even if you was to go ahead and be like flying and you hit the little thing, oops, you put it in manual, it's not gonna go in manual. No, you have to literally change everything yourself.
Okay. So
So
it's like
even if
training. It's like training wheels at first, and then
correct. As a matter of fact,
okay.
let me grab the remote real quick. Before I do that, so I can show you something. Let me go ahead and say hi to a few people that got here. Mr. Jetty is Flying Canic. Thank you for coming in. We also got Mr. Mendes joining up. Hey, buddy, thank you for popping in. We got Jack Rabbit, Mr. Matt. Bagwell, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in. We got my nephew, Elvin Matos. Feliz Año Nuevo, mi hijo. Te quiero, te amo. Un montón. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. We got Justin, Mr. Drone A63. We got Mr. Akirasho in the house. We got Mr. Jerry Bauer. Thank you for popping in. Thank you so much for popping in. Robert Glazier. We got him up in here. Mike B, aka the Drone Ranger. How you doing, Big Mike? Thank you for popping in. Meow, meow. Happy New Year to everybody, man. Thank you. We got Steven Drones. Thank you for popping in. Mr. Max here, 420. Thank you, buddy, for popping in. I really appreciate you, man. Who was that I mean? We got Mr. Danny, aka the View Chaser. Who else? Did I miss anybody else? Paul Murray. Hey, Paul. Thank you for popping in, sir. Happy New Year's to you too, my friend. Love you too, buddy. Guys, if you do me a favor, go ahead and hit that thumbs up on the stream. I really appreciate it. We got 27 people watching already. We
That's
got
awesome.
quite the crowd already. Hey, Dre, Recovery One Drone. I'm about to send you a link. I would like for you to pop on in if you can, buddy. Sorry about that. I thought I sent you one, but I didn't. So bear with me for 1 minute, and I'll send that to you right now. Where is he at? Where is he at? Hold on. No, that's not it. Boom, there it goes. Hey, Dre, your link is on its way to you, buddy. Please go ahead and pop on in whenever you're ready, and the link is on the way to you right now. Link sent. Anyway, so going back to your show, hey, we got Mr. Carolina Earshots. Thank you for popping in. We got Mr. Spot. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for the love and support. Happy New Year's to everybody. And to answer you, Sean, if you just give me 1 second, I'm going to bring my remote and I'm going to show you what I mean. I got somebody else in the background, Mr. Chris Hope. I'm going to bring him on in. I do want to apologize in advance for him. This guy is freaking insane. You'll know in a minute. So bear with me for 1 second. Sean, do me a favor. If you could read the chat, say hi to everybody. I'll be right back.
You got it. What's up, Carolina Air Shots? Welcome to the show. Happy New Year. Danny, a.k.a. Oh, everything's moving on me. I'm not used to this. Old man, new tricks. So far, everybody's just saying, hey. I'm looking to see if there's any questions going on.
I'm still here, Sean.
If you've never flown Acro, I highly recommend pulling some time in the simulator. Yeah, that's kind of Mr. Splat. I almost called you Mr. Splat. Mr. Spat, I played around with liftoff a little bit. I actually tried to go FPV last year. I got a Bumblebee from iFlight, and I got DJI goggles and the DJI controller, and played around with it for a long time. But man, every time I took off, I broke something. So like the first thing I did was I chopped off the balancing lead off of one of my batteries on my first flight. So that was like, I don't know, a $10 battery that was out of the door. And then second battery, I chewed up, and then I turned it on to play around with some settings and made that battery that battery went so dead that I couldn't charge it again. So I decided if I was going to go FPV, I wanted to have something that could return to home, something that had a horizontal hold if I needed it. So that's kind of where I'm going with DJI FPV. Maybe this year I will go full acro, but I really just want the cinematic shots. I don't really care to dive off a building or anything like that.
Right.
So
let me go ahead and welcome Mr. David Lorenzo. Thank you for popping in. So Mr. AZ Drone Dude, thank you for coming in. Really appreciate you, buddy. Let me see if I missed anybody else here. I think that's everybody. Oh, we got Oki Tom in the house. Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate you. And we got Mr. Chris Hope in the house. How you doing, Chrissy Hope?
I'm good, Adrian. Mr. Sean, nice to meet you, buddy. Never been on your show. Never sat with you before. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Saw you watching the game on Art Show.
Well, I'm watching Baylor now. So
yeah,
you're gonna see my head do this quite a bit. Baylor's
we got Mr.
hometown.
We got Mr. One Vision Ariel in the house. Hey, thank you for popping in, buddy. I really appreciate you, man.
DeMarco.
And I got Recovery One Drone in the background, but I don't see him live yet, so I'm waiting for him to pop on. Hey, we got Mr. DeMarco in the house, Mr. FSU grade 03. Hey, buddy, thank you for popping in, sir. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you for the love and support. Who else did I miss? Anybody? No, that's pretty much it. Let's wait until Mr. Recovery One Drone decide to pop on in. So going back to that now, if I could just show you real quick, Sean, since I got my little ring light on. Nice. So this is what you mean right here. You got normal in the middle. You got sports.
Okay.
Then you got manual, right?
Yep.
Okay. So say if you're flying on normal mode, which is the top one, right? Mm-hmm. You could just be flying. You know what I mean? Boom. Mm-hmm. But if you was to go like that, put it in manual until you actually open this right here, and then you release the tension, mm-hmm. and then you have to go into the goggles and do the settings, it will not work. Because when you put it in manual, your throttle is going to remain down. So you're going to lose the tension. See, like now, you have the tension. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like this one right here. As long as you have that, it doesn't matter what you do. It's not going to go into full manual. So you're not going to crash, no. You got to change everything in your settings first.
Gotcha.
But you are going to have the GPS mode and the sports mode, you're gonna have those available already.
Okay. And then I saw somewhere where in order to put it into manual mode, you have to land and then put it into manual mode and retake off. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, you have to land
Okay.
because the drone have to be completely stopped because once you have it on GPS mode, actually, let me put myself on the big screen real quick. When you have it on GPS mode, you're able to take off. You know what I mean by doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By putting the stick like that right there. When you put it on full manual, when you change the settings and everything, now you're gonna have to hit the stop button right here, start twice. That's gonna activate. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
The motors, and then you take off by pushing up. But
Okay.
the second you push up, then both sticks now you're gonna have to keep moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to keep it hover. It's not
Yeah,
like you're gonna
keep it.
drop it like I did earlier. Drop that sucker, you know what I mean, on the ground and just dug it in the ground.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, those motors are so damn strong, and those blades are so heavy and strong. I mean, it literally dug like a 2 feet trench on the ground. Like that thing was just spinning. Hard as shit. Yeah, it did. Until I hit, that button twice, to kill it. And then again, launch center, you don't have to land to put it in manual, but I believe you have to do all the manual settings first, if I'm not mistaken, Lon. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you have to do the settings first, and then you'll be able to go to manual. Okay. Not sure why my camera is now streaming. I'm not sure either. Recovery One Drone, I cannot be your technical support, buddy. I just see your RD here and your name popping up, but I don't see any feed, any video from you.
Recovery Drone, I had
Hey,
to
Mr.
give...
JRC, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in, Mr. JRC. Appreciate you, man. Go ahead, Sean.
I had to give Restream permission to show my camera. So, like, if you're running like Chrome or something like that, you might not, like Chrome might not have permission from your computer to show your camera. Because this is the first time I'd ever been on Restream before. So that might help.
Sean, FPV is fun, man. It's an addiction.
It is. It really is. And with that drone that you have on the way to you, Sean, you're going to love the hell out of it. You can make some great cinematic videos with it. Again, flying on normal mode or sports mode is still fast as hell. You're still going to get that FPV look no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched one guy's video. He was flying close to things, but he wasn't like crazy close to them. But but he was right when he would get close to something, then he was recording at 60 frames per second, and then he would he would go, half speed, like slow motion, right when he was passing something, and then he'd do like that that swooshing sound.
Yeah,
and it's such a cool video.
Dre was having trouble
getting
them guns didn't want to fit in that camera, did it?
Say that again, Chris.
I told Dre his guns didn't want to fit in that camera. That's what the problem was. When I'm 60 years old, I want to grow up and be just like Dre.
Hey, Dre, we cannot hear you, buddy. We can see you, but we cannot hear you.
No.
Still cannot hear you. Hey, Jody John Shots, how you doing, buddy?
It may be simple.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. This goofy program.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh, Goofy.
Yeah.
It's always Goofy's fault.
Yeah. I say in a week you go through Zoom and you go through StreamYard. Now you got this Restream, so you got to figure out which is which.
Adrian, he can't hang with the rest of the crowd. He got to be different.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, Dre. This is Adrian we're talking about. You know him.
Yeah, that's what we all say. We know how Adrian
is. All the little different goodies.
Yeah.
So how's it going, Mr. Dre? Happy New Year, buddy.
Yeah, Happy New Year to everyone out there. Hope everyone had a safe New Year's Eve and made it back home if you were out. And if you stayed home, you were just like me.
Yeah, man, I hung out today. Cooked some fajitas for supper and drank drank a few cool shooters. I think I'll have another one right quick.
I actually stay home. I did went ahead and take the family, my kids and my little one, out to eat to Chipotle. Had a little nice dinner.
Oh, Chipotle.
That was pretty cool.
We're on a little bit of COVID protocol around here right now. My niece had COVID. My sister's been exposed to COVID again. My kids have been exposed to COVID. So we're just kind of texting and calling each other. So
laying low. That's what
laying low.
Lay low as much as you can.
I'll be honest with you, Chris. I'm about sick and tired of this BS, man.
One day, Adrian, it'll go back to normal one day. I don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
I lost a good friend today to COVID. He'd been on ventilator for close to a month, and he passed away today.
Oh no!
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, me too. I've lost in the last 4 months. I've lost 4 guys I'm pretty good friends with. It's different. It's just different. I ain't gonna get too political on it, but it's I hate for somebody to get sick and pass away. It just sucks.
Yeah.
We got Jerome Torres in the house. Hey, Jerome, thank you for popping in. We got Mr. E-Drone. Hey, E-Drone. Eric, how you doing, bro? Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate you, man. Happy New Year to you, too. Guys, if you could do me a favor, smash that thumbs up for me. I really appreciate it. We got Mr. Rigor Mortis FPV. How you doing, bro? Thank you for popping in.
Hang on, Adrian. Let me take his call right quick. Yeah, baby girl. Yes. Yes, ain't it the little sister? Let me talk to her.
Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in, Mr. Blazer here. Really appreciate you, man. Happy New Year to you too, bro. Chris, Dre, one of these days I'm gonna get my gun just like yours. I'm gonna beat the crap out of him. I'm working on it now. It's still little, but I'm working on it. It's still little. Well,
I can tell you, partner, I've been in the weight room in and out since the age of about 13 or 14. So it's a life style, I should say. Yeah.
There you go. Go back to your little wine coolers, Mr. Hope.
So you got the what's those roses behind you, Chris? You got roses behind you, Chris?
Those are hibiscus, Dre, and
hibiscus.
I've had those things for 3 years, and it's supposed to be about 25, 26 in the morning. So I brought them in the shop for tonight.
That's what I figured. Bring them inside so they don't freeze. Yeah.
I hate to say this. I've started talking to my plants. Tell them hello.
Okay, you supposed to keep that to yourself.
Yeah. Me and these guys have been around for about, I think this is their 3rd or 4th winter. So they started off like this, and now they're
good size.
Oh yeah, Chris, I'm gonna cut them back this year.
Question, Chris. Now, which plant do you talk the most? And if you do, is the conversation good? Is it crappy? Is it so-so?
Oh, it's all good, man.
It's all good.
And if you'll watch that movie M. Night Shyamalan made about 4 or 5 years ago about the plants coming back and getting people messing their minds, you'll start talking to your plants too.
Okay, well, until that happens, I'm going to talk to my drones, and I'm going to keep on flying.
You talk to your drone. I talk to mine every time I go up. Said, "Okay, baby, don't fall down.
Yeah,
don't fail me today.
Don't
do
fall
no
down.
flips in the ground."
How you doing, Thomas Ariels? Thank you for popping in, buddy. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for the love and support.
What's up, Tomas?
My buddy Chris said that he talked to his plant. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that before.
Man, you got to talk to your plants every once in a while. They live and breathe. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be breathing air, man. Remember that.
I got to be a freaking what you call it, Houston Texan, Texas. That's what it is.
Nah, man, it's just life, dude. It's not a big deal. Brother Bob Casey. I know a lot of people.
Casey, how you doing, buddy?
I know a lot of people that talk to that 5-leaf weed that grows. What's the difference? Cool Hand Lawn. E-Drone. What's up, guys? Where's Matt at tonight?
Casey in the house. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in, man. I was talking to him earlier. We actually have a little collaboration video that I need to start working on. Hey, Mike. How you doing, buddy? Mr. Tex Arch. Damn it.
That's my neighbor.
Drone guy, how you
Mike-
doing, Michael Wright?
Mike-
How you doing, buddy?
Mike
Thank you
Wright.
for popping in, man.
I'll be glad he moves down South Texas where I can go deer hunting in the fall on his place. He doesn't know it yet. I'm gonna slip up there one Friday morning and hey Mike, I'm here to deer hunt.
Knock on his door.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
just for the hell of it.
Justin. There wasn't no catastrophe, dude. It was all made. Everything made it perfect. The grandkids loved them. They loved them. They tore them apart. They never knew the mismatched tape. They never knew that their papa put the covers on them present. David Lorenzo. Cool name, man.
Are you doing a stream in the morning, Chris?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to attempt it. It's supposed to be 25 or 26 in the morning, and if the wind's blowing real hard, I may just do a live stream from the front seat of the pickup. We'll see how it goes in the morning.
Well, okay.
Scott,
when is that cold? Don't you have to like warm up the batteries a little bit?
Man, okay. 5.5 years later,
I keep hearing that. I don't know how true it is.
I don't know, man. I just get in and fly. It takes a long time. It just takes a long time for them to warm up if you stood them outside, but they're in the front seat of my pickup. So
Yeah. Well, I say with the older Phantoms, they'll tell you when they're ready. They'll tell you that the IMU is warming up, and then once it's warmed up, then it'll go ahead and get your satellites and everything else. You can't even fire it up before that happens. Now,
Okay.
Mavic series, I don't think they get that kind of warning. I think it just kind of pops right in and you can go. I never seen a IMU warm up on any of my Mavics at all.
So you say that on the Phantom, it does give you a little warning that saying is
oh yeah,
it won't go. It will. It won't go. I'll keep it in the front seat of the pickup. The pickup would be warm, and I'll turn it on, let it do its thing there in the front seat, and I'll sit outside and let it find a satellite, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, my Inspire has a lot of warnings on the batteries.
Which is
I
good.
did not know that. I just learned something new.
Well, and I think that's when people talk about the difference from the old Go apps and the Go 4 app is that it's more intuitive to the flyer, gives you a lot more information, more I say warnings for things like that compared to some of the newer apps, the Fly app and everything else. So
not a big fan of the Fly app at all.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have any. Everything I uses either the Go app or the Go 4 app. Like I said, when I met with Steve Carpenter and Ray Kelly, I took my Phantom 3 Pro out to fly that out there to Harbor.
So, John,
I like to get that out there once in a while. I don't get to fly too often, and just to let stretch his legs out, and the little rubber shock absorbers, stabilizers there, they get a little stiff if you don't take it out and fly it, every once in a while. So I just took that down there and flew it. I think I flew it about a week or two ago, and just take my time. Kind of, if I push it too hard, I start getting too much that jello effect. If I start, just really pushing it real hard right away. So you kind of got to let everything kind of warm up like an old car, kind of like, just let the engine run a little while and don't hit the brakes too hard, and you kind of got ease into it, That's about it with the older drones and stuff.
Yeah, I was making a YouTube video with the DJI Mavic Pro, and it was right when the Go 4 app came out, and it said, like, I was all ready to do my video, and I chewed up half a battery downloading the Go 4 app just so I could take off because because all of a sudden it wasn't supported on the app I've been using for 8 months.
Oh wow, yeah.
So and I almost lost my drone that day. It went and I lost connection, and it just stayed there for like it was like 300 feet up in the air, and it just stayed there in the sky. And I didn't know if it was going to fall out of the air, if it was going to return to home, if it was going to land. So I ran over to where it was. I was ready to catch it. And then all of a sudden it started flying back to the home point. And so then I started running back to the home point, see if I had to catch it over there.
Well, like I said, I got a battery warning when I first took off near the harbor, so I can't run. I can't walk on water yet. So I was just hoping, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, and land it. And just check the battery again because it was a brand new battery. Just charged them all the night before, so I knew the batteries were all. And I think if Ray Kelly post a video, he'll even show where I told him, hey, I got to bring it back, and you'll see all 4 bars lit on the battery. But I got a warning on the screen saying battery issue, talking about battery issue, landing mode. I'm like, oh, no. Got to bring this back right now. Nothing to fool around with. Brought it back, just shut it off, restart it again, same battery, everything went green, flew, no problems. But like I said, it's an older drone. You just got to kind of like make sure all the contacts are hitting where they're supposed to, and be careful.
We got Mr. Andy Cortez, aka El Smeghead, in the house. How you doing, Andy? Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate you. Hey, Mike, right? I saw you in the green room. I tried to bring you in, Mike, right? But it said that you left. So try again. Hey, Justin, if you want a link, go ahead and shoot me an email. I'll send you a link, but if you want to pop on in.
Yeah. Oh, Justin. Boy, you can't hook that boy up, bro.
Yeah. So I see you put a video out today, Adrian.
Yes, sir. A little active track with the Air 2S.
Okay.
Nice.
New year, new Adrian.
Yeah, again, I told myself that I'm going to do a lot more flying because I got tired of hearing Dre telling me that I'm only using my drone for freaking paperweight or to collect dust. So, yeah, it's about time. I'm just going to put up some crappy video, the hell with it, just so Dre could just,
Well, hey, Chris, you got to realize Adrian is upping his video game of late. He's putting out some real fancy stuff. He's really put out some fancy moves. They got a little editing going on, little transitions, got some music in the background. I'm like, look at here.
Adrian, you need to join my competition.
But see, Sean, listen, man, before I used to just put stuff up there. Man, I used to get grilled by everybody. Hey, when you gonna start learning how to edit? This video sucks. Yeah. I said, man, give me a minute. Then I got into the whole editing. It took me a while, Sean, but as you can see, it's getting better and better, each and every time. So editing takes a while.
He's definitely growing, Sean. And I tell anybody, I said, once you get to a certain point, you realize just showing footage of your drone flying in the air gets kind of monotonous. And I said, after a while, like I was telling Adrian a couple weeks ago, you start want to tell a story.
Yep.
That's what you're trying to do. Tell a story. And sometimes, you don't have to say anything, but the way your shot sequence is and the music you put with it can tell a story itself using all we call B-roll. And I'm sure Sean knows what I'm talking about. That is using this B-roll, which is basically your footage. And like I say, once you get to that level, you start doing a little narration and stuff, and you might even be actually vlogging with your video a little bit, explaining some things. So, I'm going through the same process.
You need to listen, Adrian. You taking notes?
Oh, heck yeah, most definitely. Let me go ahead and say, welcome to, where did he go? Mr. Brad Austin, River City RVA. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in. Big Water UAV Solutions. Hey, buddy. Thank you for popping in, bro. Hey, Brad Austin, I think I sent you a link. Go ahead and check your email.
In the house. Drone Rob.
So Adrian,
yes,
over on my channel, we're starting a thing on. I have my live streams on Tuesday nights, and we're starting a thing that we've done it for November. We did it for December, and we're doing projects. So like in November, the project was trees. So however you want to take a video of trees, like you do it your way, and then I'll put it on my live stream, and we'll all kind of talk about it, encourage each other, and then kind of learn from each other. And so December was metal, and the month of January is actually going to be B-roll. So the whole point of the month of January on my channel is to figure out how to record B-roll of what you're doing. So like the props, the props starting up, the drone lifting up off the ground, you unzipping your bag, stuff like that.
Right.
And so everybody that submits a video to my channel, we're going to vote for it, and then the winning video gets a hat every month. So
what's the subject for I guess it's January now. So was it? Is it? You said trees?
no, January is B-roll.
Oh, B-roll. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when you said B-roll, that kind of sparked some
Okay.
excitement in me because I just like you guys, like I used to do YouTube videos on my lunch break, and so I would just set it up. I wouldn't even write a script or anything. I would just set it up. Hey, this is what we're gonna do today. Hope you like it. You know, I'd go do something. I'd learn something, show everybody all my mistakes, and then put the video up. But
Right.
and then I'm starting a social media for drone enthusiasts to submit their videos and kind of encourage each other on that community.
Let me go ahead and welcome Unlimited Vertical. How you doing, buddy? And Tom from Lens Capture. Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you for the love and support. Appreciate it.
You bet. It's good to see you, John. Did you get your ice rink fixed, John? I'm kind of curious about that. Hadn't seen where you fixed it yet or not. Hey, Mr.
Hey,
Tom.
Justin, I did.
Is John,
Hey,
is John the
Justin,
one
I
that showed us
sent
how
you a
he set it up, Chris?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he made a video the other day, and it wasn't quite. Actually, it wasn't ready yet, and it broke on him. And
Oh.
he said he was gonna fix it, and I was kind of curious how it was coming along.
Oh, okay.
That's cool as all get out to have a freaking ice rink beside your house that you built.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that in Texas. You can't do that in California.
Oh, sure can.
Okay.
But dang, man, that's cool.
Hey, Brother Austin, I did want to hit and send you a link to the Facebook Messenger, also for Justin, if you want to pop on
Another
in.
week. Okay. John.
Hey,
JDL,
Lord, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in, sir.
good deal, John. I bought this hat off the side of the road about 10 years ago. The guy selling hats, he sells these. This is a palm leaf hat. It's made out of palm leaves, and it's from the movie. If you watch it's my most favorite movie of all time, and it slipped my mind. It's called Lonesome Dove. Augustus McCrae. This is the Augustus, and I'm glad you found you one, man. It's a pretty popular hat. And I have had this in a while. I have soaked this thing in the ocean, Gulf of Mexico, more than once,
And it's still intact.
and it's still here. Yep.
When you gonna start letting that ball just shine?
right now, baby. We'll ball it together.
There you go. I mean, Dre don't even need it. Dre never wear a hat. Every once in a blue moon he'll wear that hat.
When you got guns like Dre, ain't many people gonna say
You don't need a
anything to
damn
you.
hat, do you?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Dre walks out there. He don't respect his road across here, and you don't even see it.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Fly Zone Drone, Mike? How you doing, Big Mike? Thank you for popping in. So, Fly Zone Drone, thank you for coming in. Really appreciate you, man.
Where's Matt tonight, Adrian?
Who?
Matty.
I have no idea. Oh, he told me he won't be able to make it in today.
Okay.
So,
Cool deal. Oh, you're welcome, John. I'm glad you found you one, buddy. Pretty decent old ball. Pretty decent old hat.
hey, Michael Wright, I don't know what's going on with your thing, but try to come on in again. Hopefully,
You probably
it'll
have the
work.
same problem I had. This guy
Probably because when you first came in, when you first came in, Dre, I only could see only the RD for
that's what I was
drone.
seeing.
That's it.
And then I look down the bottom. I actually have to turn on the camera at the bottom of the, I guess, entry area. I'm like, what kind of madness is this?
I've got so used to what's the other one everybody uses?
I got Zoom and
StreamYard.
StreamYards.
Yeah.
Everybody uses StreamYards, and then this here just popped up, and I said, "Whoa, this is different."
Yeah, I was gonna do StreamYard, Chris, but it wasn't working for me today, so I said the hell with it. I just used this one.
Mike Wright, cool deal, buddy.
Just Adrian, your stream looks very clean. No internet. No, man, same thing. I thank you for the compliment, but I got the same shitty freaking internet. But I guess it's working better today.
Hey, Sean, now I just logged into the club. So this a Twitter, or what is this I just logged into?
So it's just my personal website, but it's a lot like Twitter.
Yeah, it look like a Twitter
Yeah.
thing.
Facebook was getting like really bloated for me and like really
Uh-huh.
hard to figure things out. So
Right.
so on the club I wanted like a community of the people that are kind of in my circles.
I get you.
Um, and I want to create a community that's very positive. Like we get a lot of like, oh, your video sucks, or you need to, that wind noise is driving me crazy. Like I don't want any of that on my community. I want people to, lift each other up, and I want
Right.
us to learn from each other, but constructively, not like,
Right.
I don't want people slapping me in the face.
I hear you. How
I
you doing,
get
Mel?
you.
400 AGL. Thank you for popping in, buddy.
Hey,
Really
old
appreciate
Mel.
you, man. You know what, Sean? To kind of piggyback on what you just said, I have learned from a lot of folks, including Chris Hope, Ray, Recovery One Drone, Bob Casey, and a lot of guys in here have literally told me that there's still gonna be some idiots out there that's still gonna do that regardless.
Right.
I just kind of grew that tough skin to where the hell with it. If you like it, you do. If you don't, you don't. You either give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down. But as long as you give me either one, it doesn't matter. It still work with the algorithm. So the hell with it.
Nate, that don't matter if you get
People gonna be
dislikes.
negative regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say thanks for watching. If
That's what I do.
And then I'm like, if you get a thanks for watching from me, I was like, I didn't really know how to react to what you were saying, but I'm not gonna give you, like, I'm not gonna let you control my emotions.
Correct. For example, some guy went ahead and told me on one of the videos I made where I was actually talking, but I put a little bit of music in the background. He said, why would you make a video where the music is louder than your voice? That don't make no damn sense. This is what I said. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. I hope you enjoy the video. By the way, if you like the content, do me a favor, subscribe and hit the bell. You know what I mean? That way you keep updated with the channel.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
That was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He never replied back. If I would have probably cussed him out or said something mean, he would have probably kept going and going and going talking shit. So I kind of killed it.
I just take it as when I get a comment like that. I just take it what at least he did watch it, and I take it to I like to have the comments to be critical at times. I say, well, okay, it's making me better. Like you said, you take it and say, okay, maybe I should have been a little more cognizant. Like I always tell people, when you make it at home, it is set up for your system. So in your system, if you're listening to speakers, headphones, whatever, maybe the music and the voice didn't seem that loud, or one didn't overcome the other. But in somebody else's system, the music may play louder because it's a track and stuff.
And when you upload it, 90% of us upload it to YouTube.
Right.
YouTube changes it.
Yes.
When it gets there. It's not like it was when you uploaded it. It's perfect at the house. But when it got to grandma's, it sucked.
Yeah, and that's just what I'm saying. That it's just sometimes you'll be hit and miss. You can be as careful as possible, and you're trying to say, well, let me make sure I get the music down this level. And I just found something out just the other day. I was watching somebody else do some editing work, and I was seeing how he didn't flow, and he showed me. And maybe I'm just a little slow. I guess I'm not a big time editor, but he'll show me on each segment of the music how you can take the volume up or down just by blocking it off. You don't have to put any spaces, but you put little breaks in there, and that separates it from the rest of the track, and you can up the volume or lower the volume. And I did it on this last video I just did when I was out with Steve Carper and Ray Kelly. Because a lot of times I'll create a whole other line in my I guess you can workflow and have the different settings for the audio that way. But now I can keep the audio on one line and just break it up in different segments. When I'm talking, I can manually lower the volume in that segment while I'm talking. As soon as I stop talking, I can fade it back up to where it was before and fade it back down when I'm talking again.
Yeah,
just little tips like that. It's just
little things.
Yeah, little things. It makes it a little more cleaner. People see it and say, "Oh, this guy's putting some effort in there," And like Sean said, I like what Sean's doing. I say, not that I'm trying to win a big prize or win a hat from or anything, but you get in there to a room with people and they can say, "Well, hey, what are you using? did you try this? Try to. My biggest thing is I like to get better at speed ramping. I don't know, maybe it's the software I'm using or whatever. I see other people do it. I'm like, wow, I still need to work on that. Is that I'm using too much of a segment and it just to speed up? Is it that one thing you go for, look at the person at one point, and all of a sudden, whoosh, they're at the other point. And that's what I like. I like that effect. And maybe it's the software I'm using, or I'm not just doing it right to do that.
Hey, to answer a question to Mel, he asked the other day, but Mel, aluminum welder, if you can find a good machine shop there in Fort Smith, they can probably hook you up, man. And it shouldn't, I wouldn't think it'd cost you very much. I'm not sure exactly how much you got to weld, but a good machine shop has a guy that can do that kind of welding in there. I personally, I wish I did, man. I just don't.
Let me go ahead and welcome Uncle Bill Stowers. How you doing, buddy? On Third Eye View. Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate you. Hey, Uncle Bill, I'm about to send you a link through Facebook. So
no, really? Really? Uncle Bill?
Unfortunately.
That's okay. I'd put up with him for another hour or so, I guess.
Yeah, and he's gonna take over the damn stream in a minute.
Uncle Bill.
You know how he is.
I tell you
There
what.
You go, Uncle Bill. I just sent it to you through Facebook Messenger if you want to pop on in.
I got you. I see. I'm watching Mel type in the chat. Man, I wish I could TIG weld. I just can't do it.
Yo, where the hell is Matt? I sent Matt a link, but he's not here yet.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Mel. I'm sorry, buddy. I wished you was closer. I got a place I could carry it to you and have it fixed probably in 5 minutes if you was here.
Oh, there you go. How you doing, Mr. Matt North? I sent you a link, buddy. We were just talking about you. If you want to pop on in.
Like a dog.
G'day, mate. Come on over across the pond. It's quite cool.
Another shrimp on the Barbie. Let's not.
You wanker.
Like shrimp.
So, Dre.
Yes, sir.
When are we going to see footage with that dual camera?
I did footage with it about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
And I already watched it. I want some more.
Flying across them? Oh, you want some more?
One vid is not good enough, buddy.
Well, like I say, Adrian, it has to go through the cycle. Okay, I like I said, this weekend I flew the Phantom 3 Pro out there with Steve Carper and Ray Kelly. Later that day, I came back to another city, flew the Phantom 4 Pro for the stockpile report I had to do. Then I went down the street to Loma Linda, California, and flew a demonstration video where I have a bid for a highway patrol construction job. It's going to be coming up here in another month or two. So, everything's got to make its rounds, So, and technically, I got one Mavic, two of my Mavic 2 Pros are en route to me. One was in Texas next to Chris, getting a leg fixed on it in a gimbal incident. And I got a new one. Also, I want to take a tip of the hat and big thank you out to Drone Works. Zach hooked me up after B&H kind of pulled a rug underneath me on a deal they had. Like I say, Drone Works had a better package for me at a cheaper price. So I can't complain at all. So I guess I donated some money to the Ken Dobo Foundation since he's part owner of that operations there. But I want to take my hat off to Zach, who I dealt with personally, and thank him 10 times over for the private customer service. I didn't want to say much until the deal was done. So the deal's done. My drone should be here. I think it's Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, sweet deal.
Awesome, Dre.
Yeah.
I seen what you posted on Facebook about B&H. That's kind of, they're a big company, or in my mind they are. That's kind of odd that they did that to you.
Well, my thing was I wouldn't have been as upset or frustrated if they would have said, "Hey, our fault. What can we do to make this right, Mr. Crawford?" Yeah. I mean, I bought drones from them before, and I bought accessories from them. So, and everything's always been spot on. But this case was the fact that, the order, when I saw it online, said in stock, clicked it, payment went through, everything's good to go. And I think it's like, I'm not anybody else. I keep track of my stuff that I buy. I mean, as soon as they tell me ship, I'm watching it every day. Where is it at?
Yeah.
Where is it at? Where is it at? Because it's coming halfway across the country, to my house. So I'm always keeping track of where my stuff's coming from and when it's going to be here. So with that in mind, I noticed that the polarized lens had shipped. The battery was extra battery I bought was being prepped, and it had given me a thing about ship on the drone and the case that was supposed to come. So I'm like, okay. The next day, I see same information, but then it says something about part of that order, because they gave me one complete order as 4 broken up shipments. And it says, one item, and it only said the case was out of stock. So I sent them an email right away, said, don't worry about the case, send me the drone. Okay, just send me the drone. Send me the case whenever you get one, or we'll work it out. I'll buy something else, or I'll buy another case somewhere else. And I didn't hear anything back. So, like I say, it was supposed to show up Christmas Eve. So I let Christmas Eve go by, the whole weekend. Monday, I'm on the phone. At first couldn't get through. Then I go on the little chat thing on their app. And I said, okay, who am I talking to here? I talked to some young lady. I think her name was Mila, something like that. And she's giving me a story that now they're saying that the drone can't be found.
Whoa.
They can't find it in the warehouse. And I'm like, what? I said, you listed this as in stock. I get it. Sometimes you get a bad count, a double scan. These things can happen. But I'm looking for not just for the apology. I said, well, how can we make this right, Mr. Crawford? What do we need to do? Because all of us here, and I bet you probably at least 60 to 75% of people in this chat knows that DJI is no longer manufacturing the Mavic 2 Pro. So you can't tell me you're going to get one from DJI and send it to me, because they're not making it. So as we're talking, this is what she's to tell me, now we're going to try to see if we can get one from our manufacturer. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. And then an hour later, I see my order going from ship to back order. So now it's listed as a back order. So I get back on there and says, wait a minute. I said, why are you listed as back order when I know for sure that you cannot get this from DJI unless you're trying to buy it from somebody else, some other reseller in the country? You're not going to get me this drone. So there's another person I'm chatting with this time. So they're telling me, I said, well, what about I just cancel the order? Because that's when I saw that Air 2S with the smart controller, with the new smart controller with it. I said, well, you know what? Not that I need this drone, the Air 2S or anything. I said, well, maybe I'll just buy it, and hopefully the SDK file will get released here shortly, and I can start using it in my regular rotation, my other drones. So I proceed to say, well, what about this? And then they tell me, well, Mr. Crawford, we can't cancel your other order because now it's a special order. And it takes 3 days to clear a special order. So now I'm getting ticked, because I said, now you're giving me the runaround. You give me different excuses for something that you could not provide to me. And now you're going to try to tell me you're going to hold my money in limbo. Because then she said, well, we can go ahead and take that other order. I said, now you're going to be top $5,000 of my money on 2 different orders, and talking about, we'll get this one through. I'm like, no. You need to cancel this order, refund my money, and then we can talk about that and everything else. And I mean, all within it. That's Monday. Tuesday, I came in to find out maybe they did find it. Just trying to be hopeful this will work out. And I talked to some guy then, and I said, dude, let's just go ahead and cancel order. He says, well, I'm looking at your order here, sir. It's already been canceled. And I'm like, well, we talked about it, but I told them do not cancel it until I contact you again. So they went ahead and canceled the order because they knew they could not fulfill it. So it's just frustration, man. And I said, you know what? I said I had my day last week, my little rant. That's why I put that post out there, and then kind of find out I'm not the only person this has happened to with them, and other folks have had unblemished issues with them, which this is good, But
They
like I
do.
said, and a lot of guys said, "Well, just call them back; they'll do good." I said, "Dude, I gave them 3 different opportunities to try to get this squared away. I even offered to take a different package, and they tried to tell me, no, we can put a new order in, but your first order is going to be tied up for 3 more days." I'm like, no, no, no. I just can't. It's like the car dealership. You go to buy a car, and you're sitting there 8 hours later trying to get your car because you're jumping through hoops trying to get all the paperwork done, and you got to talk to everybody else in the whole dealership to make a deal. You said, "Dude, I just want to get that car. Why you got
Yeah.
me jumping through all these hoops?" So you get burnt out in the whole process, and that's why I felt they were just stringing me along, making sure that the other parts of the order were going to be at my house because, like I said, the polarized lens, it's sitting right here. Got it right here, polarized lens kit. Boom, it showed up. Batteries here. Boop, it showed up. You know. So now if I was a person that didn't already have one already, I would have items here that I had either send back to them at my cost, because they ain't offer to say, "Well, send us back all the other stuff that you got. We'll send you RMA postage thing and send it back to us." You know,
Uh,
they didn't even try to talk that kind of language to me. So it's kind of like,
Andre,
you know,
Andre, that issue that you're having is that with B&H photo?
yeah, B&H photo, yeah. So my whole thing was I gave them plenty of opportunities to make this right, and they kept going down the wrong street every time, and that's why I was just getting frustrated, man, because I've heard so much about how they kind of go over the board to accommodate people, and especially when it's their fault and all this kind of stuff, and I didn't get none of that kind of service, man, none at all. So I was just a little ticked that they didn't even try to offer. I was the one trying to be reasonable and try to show alternatives, but I said they didn't even talk anything about it. You know, so I was like, and that's why I appreciate guys at DroneWorks because they got on one of the Facebook pages that I posted it on, and they reached out to me personally, told me they had a package there that I like.
Excuse me.
And it's either
Bless
a
you.
better package than what I was
Thank you.
buying from B&H in the first place. So, like I said, big thumbs up to Zach and DroneWorks for them reaching out and providing me with some good quality customer service. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
So I get off my soapbox.
I've never heard of the Rama before. Is that another one where you could buy stuff for your drones?
Yeah, yeah, I never had a problem with them. I got an account with them also. I think I haven't bought anything with them in over a year or two. I think the last drone I bought from B&H might have been over a year or two and
Okay.
stuff. I bought them batteries and other little accessories and stuff that I needed and never had an issue. So I can't say they're always bad, but it's just this incident that's really put a bad taste in my mouth. Is because they didn't try to reach out to try to accommodate the error that they caused.
Yeah.
It was just simply telling me to suck it up, or so sorry, cancel
Yeah.
order, whatever.
So long story short, did you get your money back, Dre?
Oh yeah. Order got canceled, money got returned. I wouldn't. That was not my issue. That was not my issue. Everybody's talking about, well, this cancel. I said that's not the issue, dude. I tell people all the time. I said it's how you treat your customers is the issue. Getting your money back shouldn't be a problem. If it's a problem, get my money back. Believe me, Drain may make a trip all the way to New York if we have to get his money back. You know, that's no problem. Like anything else. That was not the issue. The issue was that for everything I hear about this company and how they are so accommodating to their customers, especially on a mistake that they made, that's why I felt I was getting a runaround. Especially when I'm getting different stories about, oh, we got to find it in the warehouse, and then we got to talk to the manufacturer. I said, "Look, everybody and their sister know DJI is not making that drone anymore. It's
So
just
so the
simple as
the
that."
DJI Mavic 2 Pro has been discontinued on the Zoom.
Yes. Yeah, they
Yeah.
discontinued, I think, back in September
Okay.
or October. So, I mean, that's common knowledge to, those of us in the drone world who keep up on those things know that, you know, if you see one, most time they're packaged. Like this one came with the smart controller, all, extra batteries, everything. Nice little carry case to go with it. And it was at a little bit reduced cost. I said, so let me grab this as a backup for my main one. And I said, no big deal. But to sit here and try to tell me they're going to go find one and don't tell me how to go find it. And they say, oh, the manufacturer. I'm like, come on now. Now you're trying to play me stupid. That's why we're probably don't play me stupid.
How you doing, Mr. Half Drone? Will Fly, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for
I'm trying
popping
to
in.
keep talking. I see Uncle Bill feeding his face there. I know he likes to talk also, so I'm letting him fix up his dinner.
No. No, you had a very long and very interesting story.
No,
Yeah.
it's on my soapbox, man. I just, like I say,
Okay.
in my background, in law enforcement and even construction now, and what I do now is for the city as a safety officer. How you treat the public is key. I don't care if you selling tiddlywinks or doohickeys. It's how you treat your customer base. What gets people coming back. They spread the word mouth to mouth. Because most people you go to, when you go get a car fixed from a mechanic, 9 times out of 10, you ask a couple people hey, you know a good mechanic? Okay, I'm going to take my car over here because so-and-so told me you're pretty good and stuff. If you don't want to pay the dealer prices, that's what you do. You ask a couple of folks that got some work done somewhere. So a lot of things go by word of mouth, And like I say, most of us don't have a DGI store where we live. So if you buy something from DJI themselves, we got a warehouse here down in Cerritos, California, about an hour and 5 minutes from my house. If I order something straight from DJI, it shows up probably within about 24 hours. I'm close to the warehouse. But when I go through third-party sellers, there's no B&H out here. There's no Autoramas out here. If I go, I have to go to a Best Buy if they even got something in stock. And Best Buy only keeps the most popular, newest stuff in stock. So I wasn't going to find what I need at Best Buy at all. So I wasn't going to waste my time going there. So
How you doing, Mr. Johnny Drew
that's all
Flyer?
I'm saying.
How you doing, Johnny? Hey, we got Mr. Yellow Rose Drones in the house. How you doing, buddy?
So Lee,
Happy New Year to you too, sir. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate you.
Adrian, I hate to cut you loose, buddy, but I need to make a move, my friend.
Hey, man, go ahead and go to the bathroom. Go take care of your business, man. We don't need to know none of that. Go ahead.
Well, I just step outside behind the barn if I need to take a leak. That ain't no big deal.
Texas people do that.
I just need to go in the house though for a little while.
All right, go. Stop talking to your plants. Go ahead.
I talk to my plants. You hear that, girls? He's jealous.
I'll see you later. Thank you for coming in, Chris.
Hey, Adrian, look at it like this. If I'm talking to the plants, I mean I'm not talking to you little girls.
Get your ass out of here. In the house.
Happy
Thank
New
you
Year,
for coming
everybody.
in, Chris.
See you, man.
Y'all take care.
See you later, man. That's a very interesting issue you had, Dre. I was actually thinking about doing a purchase myself through them when I seen that smart controller deal that they have with the Air 2S.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I actually thought about it, but for some reason, something kept telling me just don't do it. So I just said, the hell with it. I'm not going to return this one back to Best Buy and then get it from them. I just, stuck with this one. So, but if I hear you having that type of issue, I will hate to have that type of issue because I will not be as nice as you are. I will go the hell off.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it's I just accumulate that to getting older. I can't physically touch them from here, so that's just me getting all wound up, and I can't actually express myself or as we say have one of those come to Jesus meetings in person. It just I say I want to be professional on my end, so they can't say that Draymond Crawford was rude and cursing and all this kind of stuff. I said I remain very professional, talk to them in a professional manner. My biggest whole thing, I just want them to realize this is not my fault why this occurred. This is something on your end.
Correct.
This is why this occurred. So, I say just like I said, if we got lost in the shipping, we would say, okay, we'll blame it on FedEx. Let's blame it on UPS or the mail service. We're going to try to nail it down to who's at fault here and then try to get it corrected.
Correct.
One way or the other. And that's all I was trying to do. And they just kind of get me to run around time, as other things are showing up in my door. So now, like, if I was just a brand new person buying this drone, my first drone, or this was my only drone, my only Maverick 2 Pro, I'll be like, okay, now I got these other items. What do I do with them? And they never even mentioned about, send us back the other stuff. They never even brought it up. Not one time.
Now, Johnny Drone Flyer, which drone did you fly with the RC Pro? Was that the Mavic 3 or the Air 2S? Because I believe the RC Pro works with the.
I think
It
it's
works
for
for
the
the Air
Air 2S.
2S, but that's basically for the Mavic 3. Am I right, Bill?
No, it works. It works with the Air 2S.
But if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, the deal that they have in B&H, that remote that comes with the Air 2S does not work on the Mavic 3.
Who says
That's
that?
what I heard.
Oh,
They I saw there was a firmware update, so now it's compatible with both.
Now it's compatible? Okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't on day one, but
It
it's
wasn't on day
compatible
one.
now.
Okay. All right. Johnny said it was the Air 2S. Okay.
There's a lot of things that don't work on the Mavic 3 yet. So they launched that drone before it was ready. It'll be good in about May, I think. I mean, it's a good drone,
Wow.
but there's no like.
I would
tracking.
guess probably a little sooner than that. April.
Yeah, April 31st. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the Air 2S to end up on the mobile SDK. I don't know how much different the Air 2 and the Air 2S are besides the camera, but like
It was supposed to happen this month, but it didn't.
Yeah, my Air 2, I've been flying on Drone Link for forever, and I thought for sure the Air 2S would show up.
Well, I mean, the SDK was supposed to have the Air 2S and the Mini 2 December 15th, I think.
Yeah.
But clearly they lied again because it was supposed to be October at one point.
Mhm.
But, I mean, they don't have to do either one.
Let me go ahead and welcome. Let me welcome Mr. Ray Kelly. Happy New Year to you too, so Mr. Sergeant.
Hey, Ray.
Eyes on Drones. How you doing, Sergeant? Thank you for popping in, buddy. We also got Bill from Coast to Coast Drones. Hey, Bill. Thank you for popping in, sir. And we got Mr. Marcel. Thank you for popping in, buddy. Really appreciate you, man. Guys, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up on the stream. I really appreciate that. What is Lon talking about now? The only thing is missing a fluff feature that I don't care about. Okay. I think Lon had the excuse me, I think Lon had the smart controller for the Mavic 3, if I'm not mistaken. I've never used that new RC Pro controller yet.
Well, don't feel bad.
Future,
most folks haven't tried it either because most folks don't have it.
Yeah.
Because the person I expected to do a video on it would be Xavier. He's the one that first posted that picture of him cheesing with the box out of the B&H bag, and I have yet to see him put up a video with him using it.
Well, he did get that from B&H, the Air 2S with the RC Pro controller. He does have a video of that one, but not the Mavic.
He does? Oh, not the Mavic. I'm talking about with the Air 2S with the RC Pro. I didn't know. I must have missed that one because usually I catch a lot of this stuff. It comes across my what we call requested videos or whatever.
Yeah.
How you doing, Richard? Thank you for popping in, Richard. I really appreciate you, man. Sorry about that, Sean. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. He was saying the lag, like the big improvements is that it doesn't lag on the Air 2S like the smart controller does.
Correct. What he was talking about on that one, if you're talking about Drone X Factor, right, Dre?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. He does have a video of flying that he got from B&H, by the way. He was bragging about how awesome it was and everything. At first, when I first seen the picture that you were talking about, I actually called him bullshit on his video because I thought it was a bunch of how can you get that remote for the same price of the other drone with the old remote, but the RC Pro is $1,199. How can you get that same price? You know what I mean?
Well, that's just like any other large company who sells stuff that they can get a special deal from a manufacturer and a special package like Best
DJI
Buy.
Don't even have it, Dre. DJI don't even have that deal.
No, DJI doesn't sell it like that. Like I say, B&H is a big reseller. So just like a Best Buy, you can buy certain TVs at Best Buy you can't find anywhere else, period.
Okay.
Because Best Buy makes a big purchase from Sony or Vizio or whoever else, and you only find that TV at a Best Buy, period. And they buy a large quantity, so they'll make it, and it might be a stripped down version of their latest thing, and they sell it at a discounted price, and everybody thinks they're getting all of the big, brand new OLED or whatever else is out there about $500, $300, $400 cheaper than what other people are charging for it, and it's actually maybe a stripped down version, none of all the bells and whistles. Now the same thing here, B&H big seller. A lot of folks buy from them for drone equipment, all that kind of stuff, so they can go talk to DJI or Autel, whoever else, and says, "Hey, we want to put together a package for the Air 2S." A lot of folks are asking for it because everybody has been. Everybody's been asking, "I wish I can get the RSC remote, Pro remote with the Air 2S and stuff." Boom, B&H has it. You can't get it anywhere else, but B&H. So now they got a hot ticket and stuff. And like you're saying, does the RSC Pro controller that you get for the Air 2S, does it still work with the Mavic 3?
That's the question. If I'm not mistaken, at first I heard that it does not.
Right, and I said it might have been another update, like Uncle Bill saying, could be another update come down, and now it does, because like same thing when it first came out with the Mavic 3, it didn't work with the Air 2S, Air 2, Minis, or anything else.
See, for example, let me go ahead and welcome Harley FPV. Thank you
makes
for
no
coming.
sense. They all use the Fly app.
Now, look what Johnny said.
Yeah, RC Pro will only work with the B&H Special.
Correct. Only works with that one. Only does not work with the Mavic 3.
See what I'm saying? It's like a Best Buy deal. It's a certain deal they made with the manufacturer to sell that combination to get it out the door.
Correct.
So now you're still looking at it. It doesn't work with the Mavic 3, and it doesn't go backwards compatible with the Air 2 or with the Minis.
Correct.
You got a remote control that only works with one drone.
Correct. And that's the reason why I still have this remote, because I'm able to fly my Air 2S, the Mavic Air 2, the Mavic 2 Pro, and the Mavic 2 Zoom. I could fly 4 different drones with the same remote. That's why I'm actually keeping it.
Okay. Hey,
now, Sean, to answer you, I'm sorry, give me a second.
Go ahead.
Now, to answer you, Sean, the video that Drone X Factor actually went ahead and did, he did say that, because keep in mind, with this smart controller, which I believe Dre also have it, if you do screen recording, if you ever done that, Dre, it does lag a little bit. It really does. I've done it before.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't do screen recording, so I never experienced lag with the regular smart controller.
Correct. But with this RC Pro, with the deal that B&H have, Drone X Factor, Xavier, that's his name, he did went ahead and say that you don't have any kind of lag anymore because the processor is stronger. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I would hope that you expect that.
And it gives you like a better transmission.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Is it crippled? Is it a crippled form of the same hardware, or is it the same hardware? And if it's the same hardware, you can actually update it to work with the 3. And they both use the Fly app, so none of this makes sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
It doesn't make sense to anybody. It doesn't make sense to anybody. I want to answer Lon saying that DroneWorks. I just want to make sure I'm clear what he's saying here. He said DroneWorks had the same package, but then he's saying it was a shortage of the smart control. I think Lon, we're talking about the RC Pro package deal that B&H had with the Air 2S.
Right.
Okay.
But it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
But I said, now Lon is posted again. Nope, the RC Pro will work with Air 2S, the Mavic 3, and maybe FPV drones plus the future O3 drone. Well, like I say, I believe in the future they all should work with it because it should be somewhat backwards compatible to a certain extent. But I know initially when it rolled out, it was not.
Yeah,
but
on the website, you're using the base, on the website is the Mavic.
If you buy the base system, you're getting the same controller for all of these drones, and you're using the same software for all of these drones. So now you get the Pro controller, which uses the same software for all of these drones, and it won't work with all 3 drones. That makes sense.
And that's always the gotcha part there, Bill, is that this is what they have done. Like I say, I think hardware wise they are capable of working with all the drones that they advertise with it, from the Minis all the way up to the Mavic 3. Okay, and most time it's just a firmware update to the hardware. I think that's probably going to be coming down the pipe if it's not already been
But
out.
did
I
B
know
and H get specially crippled
Yeah,
control? Pro
you
controllers that only work with the Air
you can
2S?
cut a deal with a manufacturer for stuff like that. A lot of companies do that, and like I say, it's like certain car dealerships back in the muscle car eras. If you bought a car out here in California, you can get one with a California package that you can't buy nowhere else in the country because they only made it for California back in the
Right.
day. Just like you have a California edition,
Well, that's to
Mustangs,
the air
all that kind of stuff.
pollution. That's
Right.
pollution control.
All that kind of stuff. So it's just sometimes it's part of a marketing gimmick that keeps people coming knock on your door. They say, "Hey, if I got this
And I
exclusive
understand
deal-"
that, but the difference is those cars are actually manufactured with different components to actually be able to pass in California, or at least
I'm talking about back in
put
the days.
restrictions. But I understand, and
Yeah.
I'm just replying to your analogy.
Right.
They were either crippled or there was add-ons to limit pollution. Is this the Pro controller or not? And if it is,
Yeah, I mean,
well,
Lon
I
saying
mean,
they do
just-
not. I put like this, Lon. I would say yes. Now everybody, I said a few more people are offering the package, but when Xavier got his, B&H was the only one offering that package.
right.
Correct.
Because you went to the DGI site, it was nowhere to be found.
Correct. It
You
was
went
not
to
there.
anybody, B&H were the first ones to sort that thing out, and that's why everybody was kind of harping on Xavier, saying that it might be a Photoshop deal because no one else could find it anywhere else.
And that's why I call him bullshit on his video on
Right.
that picture that he posted at first. But then he said, no, it really is true. So when I seen the video, I was like, oh shit. So, and then I looked on B&H because he actually have the link on his video.
Right.
I looked at it and it's actually really there.
Yeah, and I see it there on B&H. Like I say, I was just on DJI site probably in the last 2 or 3 days, and I'm trying to think if I saw it there. I may not even looked because I wasn't even looking for Air 2S, so it may have had the package there. But I know B&H was the first ones that had it to be purchased.
Yeah, it's not on DJI because the whole time y'all been talking about it, I've been trying to find proof on DJI's website, and that the package is not there. They have got the Fly More combo with the smart controller, which is what I've got. But it's
for the Mavic 3.
For the Air
DJI
2S.
may not want to sell it yet. They're making too much money the way it is
Mavic
now.
3, as far as the RC Pro, the only supported aircraft is the Mavic 3.
The Mavic 3, but you have to have the Mavic 3 Cine for the smart controller. You can't just have the base one because the base one only comes in the drone and the regular remote. Then you have the fly mode. Then you have the Cine. That's another one. The Cine is the one that comes with the Pro remote. That's the one for $49.99.
Okay, now I don't know if Lon heard that Sean said that he's looking at DJ's site as we're speaking on it, and he said that package with the Air 2S with the new Pro controller is not listed.
Sense.
Yeah, it's not on there. It's got the Air 2S has a smart controller, and the Mavic 3 has the RC Pro.
Right. Okay.
But what Adrian was saying is the RC Pro only comes with the Cine.
Yeah, the DJI Mavic 3 Cine is the one that comes with the RC Pro.
Yeah, $5,000.
That's a package for $49.99. It's even on Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you buy the other version for $29.99, is a Fly More, but it comes with your base remote, not the smart controller. And then you have the other one, which is the one remote, one battery with the drone.
Yep.
So they have 3 versions out.
Yeah. So like I was saying, like Lon's talking about right now, how DJI doesn't sell the Mini SE either. I can say there are certain things that manufacturers will offer. Like I say, DJI, global company. There are certain drones they sell in Japan only. We can't get here. Certain drones they sell in the EU that we don't get here because the regulations and and restrictions are different than what we have here and what they have there. So like I say, you have different models. That's the same thing before. B&H probably cut a deal with DJI to sell a package deal like this, and they went for it, and they're selling it. And like I said, probably making it a very hot item, sought after item.
For example, look what Lon also wrote. I thought that DJI, since a DJI drone, they actually sell the Mini SE, but DJI don't even sell the DJI Mini SE. That don't make any sense. But DJI is the brand of the drone. Does that make sense? What I just said?
No,
how can DJI come out with that drone, but they don't even sell it? They
don't sell it directly, Adrian. They sell it through distributers.
Okay,
like Amazon and B&H and whoever.
So that means I could get it from Best Buy if I want it. Then
if Best Buy
03 and never mind.
Go ahead, Bill.
No. I was reading what Lon was saying. The R1C1 controller is 02. The RC Pro is 03. The Mavic 3.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Right.
You can use either one. It's that simple, and that makes sense to me. And if whatever B&H is sending out only has, I mean, someone's gonna have to own both drones to actually check this out. But if the other drone doesn't actually show up in his software, I don't know how they did that. And I mean, I don't get how they did that. Because it's basically a big Android controller. You know, I mean, you can install whatever version of Fly you want in there, and if it's work and Fly will support on a base controller and a smartphone will support either drone. So how do you preclude either drone if the Fly app is in the controller? I mean, and if they do, that's ridiculous.
And another thing, Sean, if you give me a second, the smart controller that I have now, let me have it, baby. It's right there. Let me have that controller. This smart controller right here, if I recall correctly, Dre, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the AccuSync 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the RC Pro is the AccuSync 3, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a different transmission.
This one is the one that lags when you do all the screen recording, Sean. The other one supposedly does not give you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got better hardware. Yeah, it's got better hardware. I would expect it to. You know, that's a no-brainer there. But
and I get what you're saying, because 2 and 3 doesn't matter, because you can use the old controller with the Air 2S, and the Air 2S is AccuSync 3. It just controls it at AccuSync 2, backwards compatible.
But see, Richard, to kind of answer you what you just said, I hear what you're saying. The thing that we're trying to understand, like Uncle Bill was saying, is that how can you have the same remote with the same hardware, but only works when this company have that deal, but it does not work with everything else? That's my question.
Not just the same hardware, but the same software.
Well, I'm sorry, the same software, because they all use the DJI Fly app.
Right.
Well, that's going to be the $5,000 question, Adrian. We got to find somebody who has a Mavic 3 and an Air 2S and has an RC Pro controller, and see if my thing is, if they bought the RC controller with the Air 2S, that's going to be the key. You bought got a RC Pro controller with an Air 2S, and does it bind with your Mavic 3? That's going to be the whole kit. I believe the Mavic 3 one is backwards compatible to a couple of drones, and that's why I said a couple of months back when DJI finally updated the firmware on the original smart controller and made it compatible with about 5 drones. I said it gave that piece of equipment new life, because it's
asking for trouble. If it's the same hardware, can't you just root the device and have the software that came with the M3?
Well, so Bill, I agree. You can root anything like you root a phone or anything else, but then you're talking about, is it going to be 100% compatible?
What I'm saying is, if it's the same hardware, if it's the same hardware, only they shipped the one with the Air 2S with software that precludes the ability to use the M3. Well, that's great. But if you do that, how hard would it be to overcome that? Especially if if you buy it individually and it works with the M3, and later on, if not now, it works with the Air 2S. Well, if you have all that capability, then why couldn't you take that hardware you bought with the Air 2S and update it so that it works with both?
Like I say, if the updates are there, I would say you're 100% correct. If the updates are there, that's what we got. Wow. And like I say, Lon, we know, because basically all the drones you talk about, Lon, are either light bridge systems. The Phantom 4 version 1, the Mavic Pro, and anything older is all Lightbridge. So everything that has a OcuSync 2 and above, I say OcuSync 2, which would be the Mavic 2 Pro, the Mavic Zoom, most of your enterprise drones, and up to the Phantom V2 versions will all work on the smart controller now. So you're still talking about, anything older, Phantom 4.1, Mavic Pro, or Lightbridge.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, also, like you said a little while ago, Dre, this smart controller that I have here, that you have,
Right.
you can also operate your Phantom 4, right?
Phantom 4 version 2.
Version 2.
Version
Okay.
2.
Not the previous one.
Not the version 1.
Okay. So
You
the
can
version
have a
2
you can have a Phantom 4 Pro version 1 will not work. Okay. Version 2, which is the last one they put out. Yes, that one has OcuSync 2.
And if I'm not mistaken, you have that one, right?
No, I have the version 1s.
Okay. So your smart controller only work with your if I'm not mistaken, it worked with the drone that you just got recently, right?
Yeah, my smart controller can work my Mavic 2 Pro, my Mavic Enterprise Advance. There's the two drones I can control with it.
Okay, good. Okay. When you use those drones, that's the remote you use.
Pin them on the job. Like I say,
okay.
Like my thing for me, since I use other third-party software, the smart controller is not the best controller for me. I guess I have a Apple 5th generation tablet, 10-inch. I have a couple Crystal Skies, and like I said, depending on what I'm doing. Like I said the other day, I went out and flew with Steve and Ray. I had a Crystal Sky on my Phantom 3 Pro. I use a Crystal Sky because I'm using the Go app. Okay, the old Go app. When I went back to another job while I'm flying the stockpile report, I have my Apple tablet because I'm using Drone Deploy. Okay. Now I go down the street less than 5 miles down the road to do another pre-flight on a job that I'm bidding on. I broke out my same Apple tablet because I use Litchi for a waypoint mission. See, Smart Control don't do Litchi. It doesn't do Drone Deploy. All it does is the DJI stuff. Okay, that's their pilot app, their regular Go 4 app, the old Go app. Just about it. You can't in the Smart Control. You can't even sideload. Now my Crystal Skies, I can sideload Litchi on a Crystal Sky. Cannot sideload Litchi onto a Smart Controller.
Okie dokie.
So that's why I say, for me, I don't share devices very often because depending on what mission I go to, that's why I need, like I say, this new one I'm getting coming from DroneWorks, I'm getting another smart controller. Well, guess what? That means that smart controller is staying with that drone. The other smart controller I got is staying with the Maverick Enterprise Advance and stuff. And I got another 5-inch Crystal Sky that I normally use with my other Mavic 2 Pro. And when I fly my Phantoms, I usually have a Crystal Sky on there, or I'm using that Apple tablet. And it's basically because of the mission specific. So I'm not swapping gear around and stuff. That's just me. That's my own personal pet peeve of swapping gear. I don't like swapping gear. That's how stuff get worn out, get damaged, get forgotten because you didn't pack it with this one, you left it in the other one, and you're 2 hours from home or whatever, and you're like, man, I got to break out my phone now.
All right. I need to respond to Lon here. Lon, I understand what you were saying, that the Fly app works with drones that, the Mini One, which doesn't work with the controller. But the point of the matter was, same app, same controller, with the drone. I mean, you understand? That controller doesn't work with the Mini One, but that controller allegedly is going to, well, not allegedly, it's being sold working with the Air 2S. So, did you understand what I'm saying? I mean, he made what seemed like a really good point, and it is a good point, that the Smart Controller doesn't work with the Mini One, but it uses the Fly app. Yes, that's true, but the new controller with the same app works with the two different drones. in two different situations. So that's got nothing to do with the Mini One. I understand the Fly app works with Mini One, but the Mini One, nobody's selling the Mini One with the new controller. Somebody's selling the new controller with the smart app, with the new app, the old app, the Fly app that works with it works with the Air 2S and it works with the Mavic 3. That's not the same. It's not the same as it. Well, why doesn't it work with the Mini 1 or the Mini 2 for that matter? Because that controller is not being sold with either one of those drones. It's being sold with the Air 2S. So if the thing works with the Air 2S with the Fly app, and I guess the Fly app is being written differently for that specific controller. How long is that going to work? That doesn't even make any sense. So, and as far as rooting, someone else made a comment. If you root something from manufacturer in the future, blah blah blah. Well, you're just rooting that same piece of hardware to work with the Mavic 3. If it stops working with the Air 2S, then it stops working with the Air 2S. It's either the same piece of hardware or it's not. And if it's the same piece of hardware, depending, if you root it with the whatever Fly app that works with the M3, then it will just continue to work with the M3. Period, because it's the same hardware, unless it's crippled, and that was the point I'm trying to make. And for DJI to go out of its way to cripple hardware to work just for a specific vendor's package, that makes no sense. And that's all. That's all I was saying. And I like I said, I get what Lon's trying to say. Well, it doesn't work with the Mini One. Yes, but the Fly app does work with the Air 2S, and the controller works with the Air 2S, and the controller works with the Air 3, and the software works with the Air 3. So for them not to be able to work completely means that the hardware has been crippled, or the software has been somewhere crippled, and you can't. It's not the same. It's actually not the same Fly app. That's all. The Air 2 is O3 compatible. That's the difference. Why? Oh, I get that. Well, then why can't you use that controller with both the M3 and Air 2S, since they're both O3 compatible? I mean, and that's not necessarily. O3 is backwards compatible. The same Fly app works with the Air 2S. It works with the Mini 2, and the Mini 2 is O2, and the Mini 3 is O3. So, what was your point there?
Well, the Air 2S is O3 OcuSync 3 compatible. So it's gonna work with it. It's gonna work with that remote. I understand what you're saying, Bill. I mean, it makes perfect sense, but I guess that's just the way DJI have it set up.
Well, the whole thing is when they first started selling a smart controller with the Air 2S, it was the older smart controller.
Yeah.
So I think Lon's thing is, okay, if it worked with it had to backwards compatible to O2, OcuSync 2. So now you smell a new.
But they produced new hardware that with the Fly software is apparently backwards compatible because it's working with the O2.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that the software can be backwards compatible and work with both old OcuSync 2 and OcuSync 3. And I understand what Lon's pointing out. Like, say, you can't use a controller from a Phantom 4 Pro V2. You can't use with no type of Mavic at all.
That's two different software packages.
No. What I'm saying is, but the smart controller can control a Phantom P4 version 2.
Right.
So I'm saying, but what people understand that when you hit on a smart controller, like on mine says for my enterprise one, it says Pilot app, Go 4 app, and I have in the Pilot app, it gives me option to fly free or do waypoints, and then I have Go 4 app. So it has different apps on the controller itself, and that very much may be the case with some other one where it may say Fly app version whatever and Fly app whatever else. I don't know because I don't own one of those drones. So there may be a difference in the Fly app for certain level drones. Don't know.
The only thing I'm saying is if B&H is selling the Pro controller and it works, clearly they are, and it works with the Air 2S. And then they're saying, well, yeah, but it doesn't work with the M3?
Mavic.
Well, why not?
Yeah, that's the like I said, the $5,000 question.
That Pro controller and the Pro controller that you're purchasing for the M3. Well, it must be software, or it must be BIOS, must be something in the hardware. So that means that they're crippling those controllers to not work with the M3, which I
the only people I know that have both drones. I don't know if Al Diaz still has both of his. I don't know if he sold his Air 2S. I know he has a Mavic 3 now, and I know he had a Air 2 or Air 2S. So I know Al's a big smart controller user. So he's one person we can ask, just like Xavier. If somebody can get a hold of him, they can ask him. Whatever. There are a few people who do have both drones, or even like Ken Dono. I know he has access to both those drones because he works for a company that sells them. So he has access to that. So these are the questions we have to put forth to those who are, as they say, in the know, who have the access.
Both those drones are OcuSync 3 compatible, and even if there's some temporary in my mind crippling between these two drones, it'll be gone eventually when they've made enough money.
And that's why I say, I mean, eventually there's going to be a firmware update or a regular software update that's going to make it compatible.
They're not going to keep up any kind of crippling like that, because hardware is hardware, software is software. You're going to run two different versions of software, two different versions of BIOS in the hardware. That makes no sense. It's either the Pro controller or it's not. And if it's the Pro controller and it's the same controller, this is the same Pro controller I could have bought with separately or with my M3, but it doesn't work with my M3. Well, what's causing it not to work with your M3? Something on the chipset, something whatever. But is it going to be physically different, or is it just a software difference? And if there is a difference, it's going to be something to they're not going to care about, and they're going to work with all of them.
Yeah, and until we get somebody in here who has both drones and that Pro controller, we're just like a dog chasing his tail. We're just going around and around.
I'm just talking. I'm just talking out my butt. So
the thing that I've wanted to say this whole time is like the app. I understand, like the Fly app. But every drone that comes with a different controller, and the app is like the screen, and it's getting data from the controller, but the controller is still doing stuff. There's transmission systems, there's signals, there's whether it's OcuSync 3, 2, 1, contact, all of those have differences. So firmware, hardware, even though it's the same, a lot of times companies will make things not compatible anymore because they want to improve the hardware in such a way that they can't go backwards.
And what you say makes sense. But if you buy the base, it's got the same. That's the Air 2S, and the Mini 2 for that matter.
Yeah.
Same exact controller. I'll be right back.
Well, I don't know that either, Lon. So maybe somebody else they do.
There's only a few people I know. I know Al Diaz. I know he might have sold his Air 2S when he got the Mavic 3. So I don't know if he sold both of them.
Al Diaz do have the Mavic 3, but he didn't buy the Cine, the one that comes with the RC Pro. He bought the RC Pro separate.
Well, either way, I don't care if it comes with it or not, but he has an RC Pro. So my thing is, I know at one time he had the Air 2S also. So I'm just trying to figure out if he still has the Air 2S and does that smart control that he purchased operate both those drones. So I know he had an Air 2S at one time. He might have by now, who knows? But like I said, there's only a few people that I'm aware of have them, and we'll have to wait and see, because I'm sure that's going to be a video by somebody here probably in the next 2 weeks about that, since B&H is selling this package, and it's almost like the go-to thing to get. If you bought the plain Mavic 3 with the standard Mavic 3 controller, and now you can go back and get the new controller for what I think it was like $1,700 for the Air 2S and the new controller together, somewhere around that price. That's still a good deal. You can't argue with the deal, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you got that kind of cash to throw down on 2 drones in the last 60 days, God bless you.
I will confirm that I just installed Autel Explorer on the DJI Smart Controller, but it does not work with my Autel Evo 2 Pro.
I think it will let you know it's not going to work.
It will if I connect my controller from my Autel and just use the screen on the Smart Controller.
Right.
That's pointless.
I'm proud of the fact that you actually got to install, because I know some stuff it won't even install. It's like, nah, we're not going to try that move.
So there's a web browser on the Smart Controller, and there's a website where you can download APKs and install straight from that website.
Yeah, that's what I tried on mine. The first thing I always try to do is see if I can get Litchi on there, because once I get the APK on there, I put the Amazon app on there, and then download the Litchi, which I bought a couple of years ago. And no matter how many times I download it, I can put it on there, and it just does nothing at all.
Yeah.
Now, Crystal Sky, which is supposed to be identical to the Smart Controller, as far as we talk about hardware and everything else, Crystal Skies will let me do it, but I can't do it on Smart Controller. So go figure. So what happened, Lon? Zach said they didn't have any in stock, or what?
That must be good, Uncle Bill.
What's that?
You won't stop puffing, buddy. It got to be good.
What?
Puff, puff, pass. Can you pass it over here?
It's all
puff,
you.
Puff, pass.
No, I think Justin's getting beat.
I think we beat this into the ground.
Yeah, well, like I said, until you have someone who has both drones and the controller, there's nothing else to be said at this point.
If somebody that owns both setups, not my neighborhood.
Yeah,
gotta have a couple of dollars for that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. And my biggest thing is the fact that none of them do anything for me anyway, so it don't pique my interest because they don't do no mapping.
I didn't even know you have the Smart Controller, Sean. This whole time we're talking to Dre only, referring to him with the Smart Controller. I didn't even know you had it.
Yeah, I know Lon had one.
I don't have the Mavic 3. So
no, but the remote you have is the same Smart Controller that I have, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I bought it off eBay. There was a guy that had an Air 2 and his drone flew away, and so he was just selling everything else.
Okay. And do you have a DJI drone as well that you could use with that remote?
Yeah, so I had the Air 2 and I sold it to get the Air 2S, and then I've been waiting for DroneLink to work on it, and it hasn't yet. So as soon as that's compatible, that's my next video on my YouTube channel. But
the Air 2S with the Smart Controller?
DroneLink with
I'm sorry.
Air
Okay,
2S.
Okay.
But yeah, the Smart Controller works with my Air 2S, and then all the Air 2 batteries that guy didn't have any use for anymore all work. Yeah. So I think I have 5 batteries for my Air 2S, so I can be up in the air for a couple hours.
Yeah, that was good for me as well when I got the Air 2S. The Fly More. It came with 3 batteries. I already have 4 with the Mavic Air 2, so that made it even better for me to have it. So yeah. No, I'm sorry. I had 5 with the Mavic Air 2, and then 3 with the Air 2S. So that's 8. So like you say, I got a few hours that I could get up in the air with either drone that I could use with the Smart Controller.
Yeah.
I just love that Smart Controller. That brightness, that's freaking amazing. And I have it topped up, like the brightness all the way to the top. I don't like it when like my phone. I like to have it really bright. I don't like when people have the thing so dim. I gotta do this, to look at. I don't. I hate that. I want to be able to see everything.
Yeah, I tried that triple. Was it triple tech? Triple
Yeah.
tech.
Yeah.
It was like an Android tablet,
Mhm.
but the screen was wonderful, but the Android tablet was a piece of crap. It was like
You had the 7 or the 8? It's quite an upgrade. The 8 is not just bigger; it's actually a better processor. It's more RAM. I mean, it's
well, yeah, but the version of Android was like really old, so I couldn't.
Then you must have had the 7 then, because the 8's got I think 10 on it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I've considered that actually, but my phone does fine.
Yeah,
It's got
yeah. I
8
couldn't run any other apps on it, so it like, and there was I wanted it for my Autel, and the Autel. I don't think the Autel would run on it at all, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, those tablets are pretty impressive. I mean, but you know what? You're talking about $800. At $700-800 for the newest one. You already spent $700-800 $1,000 for this thing.
Right.
Oh, but the screen is bigger. My eyes aren't that great, but I can see just fine on a 6 3/4 inch screen.
Yeah.
And phones come with more RAM, and people complain about the Fly app being choppy, and the more RAM you have, the smoother it's going to run. It's just like PCs; it's the same thing,
Right.
To be able to buffer, buffer software information into a super fast, anyway, physical RAM.
Mm-hmm.
The more physical RAM you have, the better the whole experience is going to be. If you've got 8 or 12, you're going to have no problem. The folks that are having problems with, like, for example, the Fly app, I've been hearing a lot of complaints about that because it's gotten so fat. Well, the drones have gotten very advanced, and there's a lot going on. I mean, you're talking about transferring 120 to 200 megabits per second of video, to your, not only to the drone, but then also back to, also 1080p or higher back to your phone. Your phone's doing a lot. So the more RAM your process, it's not even the processor as much as it is the RAM and the physical capabilities of the phone itself.
Yeah. You also need to like concentrate the process too. Like if you're getting notifications, if you're running Google Maps in the background, if you're getting like, you've got all these background applications you don't have cleared out, that can cause a lot of the lag as well.
Well, that's why you need physical RAM for all of that, because it's not just the ability to hold it, because you can do that with your hard drive. It's the speed in which it has access to that information, and if you're using physical RAM for a lot of it, at least for the buffering part of it, then you're going to have a much smoother and better experience. It's like I said, it's all about the RAM. I mean, this old bitch has 8 gigs of RAM. It's 2 years old. I have a 7 Pro, a OnePlus 7 Pro, and I've had nothing but great luck when it comes to the Fly app with this thing. As I hear a lot of people complaining about the Fly app, but I've never had any problems with this very simple operating system. 8 gigs of RAM, 855 SoCF 855 processor, does a great job. I'm tempted to move on, to a 12 gig memory phone and be ready for the next couple of years, But that's really what it's all about. It's not
to answer Malcolm, right?
Should the software be better written so that it works on lesser phones? Maybe. Yeah, I guess
More
that'd be
efficient.
great. That'd be great. But you know what? You're spending $2,000 to $5,000 for a drone. Spend $1,000 on your phone, or $800 on your triple tech. The 8 supposedly pretty damn good. According to Mike, it's fantastic.
If I'm not mistaken, those triple tech are like what, $800 to $1,000, Adrian?
They're around, yeah. The old one was like 99. New ones,
allegedly 1,200 nits, but
yeah.
it's also got 8 gigs of RAM. Where I think the 7 at 6. I think.
Yeah, I'm
just
talking
like
about price. It's about
yeah.
a grand for one, right?
Yeah, I mean 700 for the 7. I think it's close to a grand for the 8. And just
Okay.
like Bill's saying that, it kind of makes me laugh when I hear people complain about screen sizes on their phones, and but everybody breaks the neck to go out and buy a Air 2S, which is the Air 2 was what, $799. And like Bill's saying, well, you spend $799 on a drone, spend somewhere close to that same amount of money on your display.
Well, I mean, people do it all the time. I mean, they spend, they don't think anything because it's a contract. I'm spending 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 on this, on a phone, which is mostly for texting and posting videos and taking pictures. It's not flying a drone and tracking GPS elevation. And what that software is doing is pretty damn complex.
Yeah.
And it's trying to translate it to match everybody's Android phone. It's like the argument between Apple and Microsoft. Microsoft got a lot of over the years, and maybe deservedly so, for blue screens and problems in matching software. But don't forget, Microsoft is writing that software to work with everything.
Yeah, it's bloated. It's bloated because it's got to be compatible with everything.
Right.
Everything. I mean, Apple writes their iOS to work with Apple products, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier. And frankly, it should even be better than it is, to tell you the truth. Microsoft's done a hell of a job considering all the players that have come into the market. But anyway, this is an old argument. I'm an old guy, and I've had that argument for a long time. I got nothing against Microsoft products. They're high quality. I'm sorry, Apple products. They're high quality. They're good. It's good stuff, and you pay for what you get. You want the best. You want the best of the best. You can pay similar money and buy PC products that work or nearly equivalent to Apple products,
Right.
But of course, it just depending what you want to spend. Someone that complains that their $450 phone isn't running the Fly app correctly needs to really just like look in the mirror and say you're stupid.
Yeah. Well, let's just go back to what I'm saying. Like right here in front of me, I have this is a 8-inch tablet here. This is an Apple i6 Plus. This is my regular phone, which I never fly with. I use this as my hotspot for all the other stuff, And I got a couple Crystal Skies out there, the Apple 10-inch, and like I said, this is what each one of my drone packages have its own screen for it, just like it has its own controller for it. And I don't like swapping stuff, going back and forth. So long as I know what I need when I go out, what kind of job I'm going to be doing when I go out, I know what kind of screen I'm going to need. And like I said, the phones are all dummy phones. None of these phones have chips in them. It just, like I say, these are a hotspot, hook up to it so I can get anything downloaded to Drone Deploy or Litchi or whatever I'm using and go from there. Most I use these phones for my gimbals, my phone gimbals and stuff. I use the phones for it. A lot of my GoPros, all that kind of stuff.
I don't pretend to be an expert at this. I mean, I used to be an expert on PCs and building and all that because I did it for a living for a lot of years. Not so much anymore. I'm way behind the times because I started managing bowling centers. But I mean, there's still a base common sense, and what I just said is just base common sense. If you're going to spend $2,500 on a drone, and then, like I said, control with a $300 or $400 phone, and then complain that your app sucks, you're just dumb as balls. It's plain and simple. It's all going to match. I mean, you got to have the power to run the software that runs all the advanced shit that's in that drone.
Yeah.
Through the heavy software that they're constantly trying to slim down. Don't get me wrong. It's not like DJs trying to slim down their software. They're trying them. A lot of people talk about the Go4 app versus the Fly app. Well, the Go4 app controlled older hardware that have been around for a long time. That's not saying it didn't do a great job. It still does a great job. It does.
Mhm.
But the fact of the matter is they're trying to match the latest drivers with the latest software, with the latest hardware, and keep up. And it's very difficult to do it at the pace that things are developing. To their advantage, the chip shortage may be actually to their advantage, because they may actually be able to catch the Fly app or whatever else up to whatever's next, Fly to whatever they're putting out there.
Yeah,
I'm just
one of the
talking.
biggest things you're talking about, Bill, is the fact that a lot of us, when we use our own personal phones to fly with, if people forget about other apps that you got running in the background. They got
Sure.
they got Facebook running, they got YouTube running, they got whatever else Messenger running, and I mean I don't know what else, but I have those are just the three main ones that pretty much everybody has on their phones,
And they're
that's
so heavy. They're
Yeah, and that's
so code heavy. They're unbelievable.
and
They're
that's
written like shit. And the best thing to do, like you said, is make sure nothing's running, reboot your phone, and then go into airplane mode, and that's
Yeah.
it. And I stream live off my drone all the time. People ask me, why do your live streams from your drone? Why do they look so good? Well, it's because my $700 2.5-year-old phone is that great? No, it's not. It's okay. Like I said, it's got 8 gigs RAM, but it's actually the SoC 855 is getting kind of long in the tooth. But it's because you got to use your head a little bit, and like you said, cut everything else off.
Yes.
And just focus on what you're doing. And
Right.
it seems to work just fine.
And that's what I said about Adrian's talking about when we first talked about the smart controller. People do the recording on the controller. I said, unless there's something specific I need to see, I want to show you on my controller, I don't need to record myself. I record what the flight's doing. That's why it's already going to the SD card. So what you're seeing as far as visual wise, the picture is on the SD card. So why am I recording the controller, slowing it down, bogging it down? Which to me, having the quickest transmission speed back and forth is what's more important, because if I'm flying something critical, the last thing I want to have is lag.
Yeah.
A choppy screen or something. That's the last thing I want to be trying to deal with.
Right. Yeah, the screen recording is important to me because I run a YouTube channel that shows my flights. That I want to show the metadata at the same time.
Right.
Show how far I am away, or show the altitude, the speed, and all that.
Right. And like I said, and there's ways to do that, where you might set up a secondary screen, run the HDMI out to a secondary screen, you have that recorded. So there's all different things you can do. But I just know for me, if I'm doing inspections or flying in areas near power lines and all this kind of crazy stuff, I need to make sure I don't have any latency issues. Because like I say, you don't want to be like, I'm getting close, and I said, boom, I hit. I said, well, the screen showed I still had a little time left, and those milliseconds turn into real seconds. And it's like you don't crash the drone or you don't ran into something, and you thought you had a little more time and space. So there's always a way to work around it. Depends on how much effort you want to put into it. And like Bill says, if you're doing certain things, like you said, you're doing live streaming on YouTube and all this kind of stuff, you got to set your system up to facilitate what you're doing. Simple as that.
Right. Exactly.
Yep. That is all there is to it.
Tenfold. Now that we got that out of the way.
Hi, Adrian. You're looking very yellow tonight.
Thank you. Looking pretty bright.
Yeah, bright? No, I don't think so. You're bright.
Fly, have chick round. Okay, Bill. Look here, sir. Let's be nice. 2022.
I said you're bright.
I'm bright like the sun.
Being sarcastic. I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
You really seem like a really, really decent man. I like that more than anything else online. Is whether I can judge. It's very difficult because I've been fooled many times. But you seem like a pretty. I mean, you love your kids, and just that alone.
Kids.
Just that alone says a lot.
And matter of fact, I got one right now who's my little security guard. My oldest one fell asleep, but she's right here in the bed, just playing her little game, just making sure daddy's okay. She would not go to sleep unless I go to sleep.
All right.
It's all about decent human beings, shooting some shit,
Yeah.
talking a little bit.
Well, Adrian, I'm gonna go ahead
I
and
try
bounce
not
out.
to talk out my butt as much as I can, and I'll tell people if it's just opinion. But when I think I know what I'm talking about, I will continue to talk. However, what I do know is that you're very yellow, and
Tonight I am.
and it looks great. It looks great. I do know that. You do look good.
All right.
Thank you.
All right,
Dre,
Adrian, I'm going
say
to bounce
something?
out, partner. No, I was going to bounce out, partner. I know it's later for you guys, it's for me, but 8 o'clock is the first warning siren for old folks like me to go to bed.
8 o'clock. You're older than you look, brother. 8 o'clock.
Before you go, Dre, I do have a question for you.
Shoot.
Huh?
Go ahead.
You say you've been working on your gun since you were 13 or 14.
Yeah, I've been
Dude,
an athlete, dude.
I
Since
cannot go
I
back.
was 7 years.
I can't go back in time and change all the dumb crap that I did before. Talk to me about now. What can I do to get this to grow a little bit more?
Okay, I'll give you my workout routine. I only go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week. I get there, I get on the bike, and I exercise bike. I do 2 miles, 6.5 minutes. That means you got to pedal at least at about an average of 115 miles per hour pedal speed. Get off the bike. I go over. I get off that. Get on a
You said
sit-up machine.
115 miles per hour.
115 miles per hour. That
Okay.
gets my heart rate pumped up around.
How do you pedal 115 miles an hour?
Yeah, it's not bad. And
I mean, I've gone on a real bicycle and just pedaling a real 12 speed and going 20 miles an hour on an actual 12 speed.
That's what the printout says. So I'm pedaling hard.
Wow.
So that I go over to the sit-up machine and do 2 sets of 50 sit-ups with 145 pounds on the rack.
Okay.
After that, I go over to the try push-down machine, set at 305, 3 sets of 10 on push-down machines. Get off of that, go over to the curls, 3 sets of 10, 100 pounds from there. Now, it depends if I got to go to work that day or not. If I have to go to work, I'll go do some free dumbbell weights, about 45, 50 pounds, 3 sets of 8 with dumbbells after I do that. Once I go there, I go over to the regular dip area, do regular dips, 3 sets of 8 dips. Then go over to the push-down bar, 3 sets of 10, 80 pounds on that. And then do individual arms on the triceps, 3 sets of 10 with about 35 pounds on there. And I'm done. I can do all that 45 minutes. I'm out the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I do and stuff, man.
And you've generated enough energy to to power the shuttlecraft, the space shuttle. Because I get up in the morning and my first exercise is I brush my teeth. I mean, this takes a lot of energy.
I see Richard Fink.
I make coffee that I have to walk out to the living room and make the coffee. And then I run some errands, and I run to the bathroom.
I tell Richard Fink, you can do the math. 2 miles in 6.5 minutes. What miles per hour you got to pedal at to reach 2 miles in 6 minutes and 30 seconds?
Well, it's
3 minutes
fast.
and 30 seconds.
20 miles an hour. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 60 miles.
Your pedal speed is different from actual the distance which you drive.
Right. Well, 60 miles a minute is 20 miles.
Let me correct that.
It depends on which gear you're in.
Not miles per hour. I should say RPMs. I'm sorry. Revolutions per minute. RPMs. I'm sorry.
I got
revolutions per minute. 150 revolutions per minute.
Now we're talking, because when you said 115 miles per hour, I was like, wait a minute, my truck don't even go that fast.
Right.
Yeah, but that also depends on what gear you're in.
Yeah, you put it on rigor. Because
your RPMs are different with each gear.
Well, RPM.
I set it on what do you call it? What's the mode? Cardio mode. So it usually has a certain tension on it, and it doesn't let up to your heart rate hits a certain peak, which my heart rate peaks out at 140. Once it hits 140, then the tension will lessen up a little bit. That's about it.
Thank you for being here, Donnie, aka the View Chaser. I'll see you later, man. Good night, bro. All right, Joe. Well, thank you for coming in, sir.
All right.
Always a pleasure having you, buddy.
C-Myth.
And now there's 3.
He's way too fit to be my friend.
And
He's got me feeling guilty. I still have that 12-speed out there, and I bought it from some charity. They take the money and they give it to kids, and I bought it just for that. And I rode that 12-speed, and I felt very clumsy doing it. But I rode that 12-speed, and that was during the period of time where I lost 90 pounds, and I was down to about 228, I think. And I probably should start riding that bike again. But I don't think I'm going to make it up to 115 miles an hour.
Great. Hey, Charles.
Unless I ride off a cliff. I could ride off a cliff.
In, Charles. I really appreciate you. Hey, we got Mr. Gary, a.k.a. Brown Area. How you doing, buddy? Happy New Year to you too, man. Thank you for coming in, sir.
But anyway, I did put a speedometer on that thing, and at 20-some-odd miles an hour, it was a lot of work. It was.
Yeah. I get on mine for about 15 minutes. I do about 11, 12 miles an hour. Man, when I get out, my heart is pumping like I'm on crack cocaine. So,
is this an actual bike or inside?
It's one of those exercise bikes.
Okay.
It's right here in my room.
I liked having the real bike because I feel like I went somewhere. Because I can make it out to my living room without getting on a bike. Usually, not always, but usually. And I'm going to video this fat ass on that 12-speed again, so you guys can, commemorate when Uncle Bill had his heart attack.
Got you. Happy New Year to you too, Charles. Thank you for coming in, sir. Hey, Bill, I got a question. Do you by the way, I figured out the live stream. Remember when you were helping me with that?
Mm-hmm.
I figured it out. So what happened is that when I went to the trying to get that StreamYard stuff, you know how you normally have the first RTMP, then you have the backup one?
I'm sorry, what?
You know in your RTMP, you have the first one, then you have a backup one.
Right.
The first one is not working. I have to use the backup one. That's how I got it to work.
Good. Well, that's what I'll tell you what, you can delete all of them. Even the ones that were created when you went, like right now that you're using restroom. If you look in your
you call it restroom?
Restroom.
Yeah, he called it restroom. It's restream.
Awesome.
Hey, that was a good catch, Sean.
That was awesome.
Well, if you go into YouTube Studio, you will see that it created a brand new key for this stream. Well, once the stream is done, you can delete it. It doesn't mean anything. So you can go into manage your keys and delete everything. And if you do that, you'll never use the wrong key again because you don't have them anymore. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you may not even realize that you created a key for this stream when you went on restroom, and because YouTube just stores it. And it's seamless for you using this particular online software. So it just creates your RTMP key, works. Okay, bye-bye, and you sign off for the night. Meanwhile, it saves that key and it's in your list of used keys. So when you were looking in YouTube Studio, you were probably grabbing the wrong key. That's all. So if you delete them all, if you delete them all, you don't have to worry about it.
Correct. Good night, Michael Wright. Thank you for coming in, buddy. Sorry that the link was not working for you, man. When you tried it, maybe you gotta be on a laptop or something of that nature.
Michael couldn't come in?
Yeah, I sent him the link and he tried to come in, but he was having
I had a hard time too.
Yeah,
you were sending me the wrong link.
When I send you the first link, that's the one that I sent Sean and Dre.
Right.
And I sent it to you, but you saying it wasn't working. But then when I went ahead, I went back to my restream and I sent you one. it had different numbers in it. So that's the one that I sent you the second time.
Well,
I don't know why it changed.
That clearly works. So I don't know. That's weird. It shouldn't change during
That's what I thought.
during the
Because
same stream. I've never heard of that
exactly.
before.
So, but I looked at the numbers on the letters, and they were actually a little different towards the middle and the ending compared to the one I sent you at first.
Wow, that's
Because
very
I thought that was stupid. I said, okay. Because you keep saying that it wasn't working. Hey, Big Water UAV Solutions. Thank you for coming in, buddy. Have a great night, sir.
No, this same RTMP key should work for until you're off. It should be the same one. So I don't understand why they did that. You know?
Well, yeah, it's
unless you're telling stories. You know, you say stuff.
No, when it comes to the RTMP, yeah, I had to use the backup one because the first one was not working for me at all. Hey, hell, I even did it in front of you. It wasn't even working for me.
It didn't work, and the new one did work, and then here I am.
But then I went ahead and I called Chris Hope, and he said, "Well, use this one." Then when I used the backup one, there it was. But then I also had to reset the stream key, and that's when it started working. Anyway, I got it to work now. I just need to have like a great hotspot or Wi-Fi for me to be able to have that good live stream. Because the last one I used, the hotspot was not working that good.
Well, it's working great now, and I'm looking in the chat, and I'm seeing they're still calculating how far you go on a bike.
I know Lon is doing that. He's the
problem is I gotta walk out of the house, walk through the backyard, go out to the shed, and go that 128th of a mile to go get the bike, and the speed is 0.
0 miles an hour.
Yeah, because I'm just not doing it, and I really should. I should get that thing out, and lube it up, and put it on the road, and get down below 305 pounds, which is where I'm at right now.
We have 40 thumbs up on the stream. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
Nice.
Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, buddy.
I've had fun in here tonight, Adrian. Thank you for inviting me in.
My pleasure, man. Anytime I'm on, if you want a link, all you got to do is let me know. I ask a lot of people if you want to jump in, just let me know, and I'll send you a link.
Well, I was, Art invited me in there, and I had a good time in there, and I did say I got to leave now to go see Adrian. So, just so you know.
I didn't hear you say that before I left.
No. I said it after you left.
Okay.
I was promoting your channel after I left. After you left. Why would I promote it when you're there? You promote your own damn channel. Jesus.
What, baby? What's wrong?
Uh-oh.
Thought you were talking to me. Go bring me some more tissue, please. So, Sean, you gonna be doing any flying later on? How's the weather over there in Smyrna, by the way?
Man, it's crazy. It's I don't know what the winds were like today, but I was watching the cedar trees behind my house like almost touch the ground. It was so windy. We had like tornado warnings all day. So there was something happening coming from the west over to the east.
Is it because you're close to Kentucky? Because Bob Casey told me they were also having bad weather still over there.
Oh yeah, same. Like we pretty much have the same weather. We're like there's like some sort of heat, like a heat stream and a cold stream. They kind of smack each other right in Nashville.
Wow.
So yeah, we don't have like hurricanes or anything like that, but we always get tornadoes. So like there's no way, like even my Unique Typhoon H Plus or my Inspire wouldn't have made it today. They would have just smacked right into a tree or something. It's so windy.
I was under the impression that you only have that Autel Evo 2 Pro. So you actually have DJI drones as well.
Man, I'm in so much debt running this YouTube channel. Like people are like, oh, you got like over 6,000 subscribers, almost 7,000 subscribers. You must make all kinds of money. And I'm like, I make about $60 to $100 a month, and I spend a lot more than that.
So how many drones you have in total, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh gosh, So let's start with DJI. I've got the Air 2S, the Mavic Pro, and the FPV will get here
the
on
Mavic
Tuesday.
2 Pro. I'm sorry, the
I-
Mavic Air 2, Mavic 2 Pro.
I don't have the Mavic 2 Pro. It's the original Mavic Pro.
Okay, the Mavic Pro. Okay.
Yeah, I got that to do the Insta360 invisible drone that didn't turn out very well. And then
the FPV is on its way.
FPV is on its way. I've got the Air. I've got a red Air. I had the Air 2. I've had just about every drone, but I sell some of them to buy the other ones.
So you have the Mavic Air, the original one? The first original one in the red version?
Yeah.
Okay. I got that one, but I have it in black. Okay.
And then so that's all my DJI. Oh, and I have the Inspire 1 Pro.
Inspire 1.
Sean,
Okay.
can I say something?
Yeah.
You got a great channel. You got a lot of subscribers. You make $68 a month. You own way too many drones. Stop spending so much money, brother.
Yeah, I'm selling them. I'm selling.
Oh, okay.
I'm keeping.
What do you want to sell me?
What do you want?
I don't know. I have no idea. I make no money from my channel. As a matter of fact, they cost me money. So.
Yeah. Well,
you actually selling drones?
I'm about to sell a lot of my drones. The one that I spent the most money on that I haven't done anything with is my Unique Typhoon H Plus. I did all kinds of videos on my Unique Typhoon H, but then when I got the Plus, I did an unboxing video. I did 3 flight videos, and it sat on the shelf since. Not because it's a bad drone, but it's just.
You've only got so many hours in a day.
Yeah, another drone came out, and so for the first 5 years of my channel, I was trying to hustle and trying to, as soon as the drone came out, I wanted to put a video so I could get those views or whatever. And now I'm at the point where I'm trying to sell all my assets. The live streaming is becoming a lot of fun for me, and the community that I'm trying to build. I think that's where my focus is going to go this year, in just kind of teaching people. Because I mean, I can't compete with the people that get free drones 6 months before they come out, and
I don't know. With 6,600 subscribers, you should be getting some offers. Why do you not?
I don't know. I get offers from Asian people on Facebook that want me to sell like a piece of plastic that attaches to my drone, and I have to pay for it, and then they PayPal me the money back once I do an Amazon review, which is like false advertising.
Well, put it out there, brother. What are you selling?
I don't know yet. I am selling the Unique Typhoon H Plus. I'm definitely going to sell that. But I think the Autel Evo is my professional drone that I'm going to keep. The Inspire is the drone that I'm going to keep to attach other cameras to, because it can it can carry a payload.
Of course.
But it's so old, the batteries are just.
Hey, Stephen Drones, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for coming in, sir. Now, you said something about a Unique. You have one of those too?
Yeah, Unique Typhoon H Plus. It's the same drone that Steven Drones flies all the time.
He was just talking about the fact that he just reviewed it and didn't fly it after that.
Yeah.
I think that's what I heard. Did I hear
Not
right?
much. Yeah.
Now, those Unique are pretty. They're pretty. I think the name kind of says it all. They look unique to me. Like I looked at some of those, and I actually flew one, Sean.
Yeah.
And the way it felt, like really, I don't know. I flew it. I think it was all right, but that was one that I just could not get into.
So, which one are you talking about?
Man, I have no idea. I think I flew that thing like freaking year and a half ago. It was a Unique one that I think they had one of those on sale in Best Buy, and somebody got it. He let me fly. It was like black. It almost looked like color like fiberglass.
Right.
So
Carbon fiber type.
Yeah, it looked like it's something like that. You know, the color of it. I don't know if it was really that material.
So they came out with the Q500, which is it was an okay drone, but it was kind of lame. It didn't have the precision flight. It kind of flies like a tugboat. But the hexacopters is where Unique really shines. So
maybe you know which one I'm talking about. He paid like $1,500 for that one.
Oh yeah, that might have been the H plus or the H, but the Unique drones that are great have 6 blades on top, and then the camera hangs
Correct. The
underneath
gimbal,
it.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
And
yes,
it has a landing gear that raises up. And what's awesome about them is their controller is bigger than the smart controller.
Correct.
It's like a 7-inch Android tablet. Everything's built in. But the first time I ever flew an Inspire was when I was on Ken Heron's channel, and I controlled the camera while he flew the drone.
Yeah.
And what really made me mad about the Inspire was I could pan, but I could only pan so far, and then I had to turn around and come back. The Unique Typhoon H and the H Plus, that camera pans and will just keep going in a circle over and over and over again. And it's a separate knob. It's a knob that actually makes it pan. So what's great about that drone is you don't have to turn the drone to point in a different direction. The drone can hover, and you can have the camera panning the whole time, and then you can fly the drone any way you want to, and that camera is going to keep panning. So you can get really, really crazy shots with it.
And if I recall correctly, that same drone you're talking about, that Inspire, like you said, you can actually have 2 people controlling it. You flying, then the other one controls the camera, right?
Yeah, that's what Ken and I did.
That's pretty nice.
But it was nauseous because, like, I mean, you have to trust the person, and you have to understand how to communicate. Ken Heron and I did not communicate very well because it was like, hey, we're going to try this, see what it's like. He was flying the bird in one direction, and I was trying to point in a different direction. And, it's like riding a roller coaster in VR.
So, but don't you guys have to communicate what you're doing? That way you know what to do?
Yeah, but he was saying, like, point at that. It was, I forget what it was like so we did it on an old runway that was abandoned, and there was like all these RC like tables where the people can set up their planes and stuff. And he kept telling me to look at things. And so I'd turn one way to look at it, but he'd turn the drone in a different direction. And so, yeah, it definitely takes some practice. It's really neat, but.
Good night, Harley. Have a good night, Greg. That was kind of harsh from Richard Fink. Don't care about these pretenders. Gonna go to bed and read my Twitter messages. That's a little harsh.
What does that
mean? I posted a link there, John. If you.
Good night, Richard Fink.
We're pretenders apparently. I posted a link to the drone swap shop with I believe Ray, Kelly, and Johnny Drone Flyer created.
Oh yeah, I joined this last week.
Yeah, I might want to check it out and see if you want to.
See you later, Harley FPV. Thank you for coming in.
Have you want to put out there?
All right.
Hey, thank you, Richard Fink. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming in.
I also have the Paradanafi, which I love.
Paradanafi, the first one?
Yeah, the original. OG.
Old school. OG.
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all the same drone. It's just different packages. Except the USA. The USA is pretty.
Hey, Night Trend, how you doing, Big Mike? Thank you for coming in, buddy. You actually came in kind of late, so I'm about to gonna shut it down a little bit. Well, it was great having you guys here. Great show. Uncle Bill, again, anytime I'm on, you're more than welcome. You let me know you want to come on in. When you do your stream, I like for you to go ahead and send me a link.
I
I like to
appreciate
come on your
that. I
show.
appreciate that, Adrian. I don't always have something interesting to say, but I'll say it anyway. That's the way it'll come out one way or the other.
I hear you, bro.
I think I'm a little nervous about it. I think I may have something. I can't say.
What
And I wasn't going to come on to.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I work with the public, you understand? So I've had my 3 shots, but I think I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to take the test.
Okay.
I'm just not feeling great.
Well, I hope you don't have the
That's not
goddamn
good.
shit.
Well, I hope I do. I mean, just get it over with. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
You know what I mean? If this is it, it'd be great. It'd be awesome. But so far, in this 60-year-old, almost 61-year-old body, I haven't, as far as I know, I haven't gotten it. And if you're gonna get it and get it over with and get your resistance up, that'd be great. I mean, if this is it, shit, let me have it. But headaches, not feeling great, and half loaded due to Screwball peanut butter whiskey, which is awesome, in a Artco drone Flyers mug. Anyway, it was a great pleasure talking to both of you guys. I'm gonna actually hit it. I was eating earlier because that was my salad. I haven't eaten dinner tonight.
Okay.
It's almost midnight. Sean, it was great, and thanks for putting up with my silly shit, Adrian. And seriously, I just talk. Adrian, always good to see you, no matter what color you decide to show up in. And you guys have a great night.
Thank you, Uncle
You
Bill.
too,
Thank you
man.
for coming in, buddy.
Get better.
Sean, thank you for coming in. I hope you do feel better as well, Bill.
Oh, you know what? I feel good now, but I think it's the whiskey. So that might be the solution. Anybody who's got COVID out there, just start drinking whiskey, and you feel much, much better.
Yeah, it'll kill anything in your body.
Apparently.
It'll sanitize you.
And you get to sleep, and it's all kinds of good stuff going on.
Exactly. That'll make you feel good.
Yeah.
Well, everybody that came in the chat, thank you so much for all the love and support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doug.
Vision Ariel. Thank you, sir. Robert Glazier. Big Mike, Night Train. Londinar, thank you for your input. Harley FPB, got so much people here. Richard Fink. Stephen Drones, everybody that came in. Dre, Chris Hope.
Look at this. Mike just showed up. Night Train.
I know he just went ahead and shut up. He said he just came from the bar. Matt
The
Bagwell.
the bar closed. I get it.
Big Water UAV Solutions. Michael Wright, thank you so much for coming in. Charles Galuski, Matt Bagwell, everybody. Brown Ariel, Gary. Have Drone will fly. Thank you so much. Sean, once again, thank you. Bill, Drake, Chris Hope. You'll have a great weekend. See you later.
You too, man. Thanks for having me.
Good night, you guys.
Good night.